Stick close. Keep it moving. Move it! Hurry up! Stick with me! Keep close! Keep going! Follow me! Stick close! Stick to me! This way! Stick close! Follow me! Stay close! Stick close! You, go there!
Thank you for telling me that. Oh my god. I muted it because I was on the call. So yeah, sorry. It was a good call. It was a good call. Basically, it was a false positive. I'm on call for my work. It's like this 2-week rotation, but I'm like really far up the train, so I didn't expect to get called in, much less called like right then and there right after getting work. But basically it's a process I created for my team. Pretty sure these aren't saves. Yeah. And it shot out a false positive. Like it makes this little error report. I need to reset this, don't I? Nope, you're good. It makes a little error report, but the way it works is it makes the error report, and then if it finds errors, it puts it in the report, and then if it sees the error report exists, it sends out this email. Well, I think there was some issue with the file system where it did the check if the error report existed before it finished deleting it. So it said, oh, there's an error when there really wasn't one. So that's all it was, I think. But you still have to like go check, because it can't be just like, we'll just figure it out 2 weeks from now. Or not 2 weeks, but on Monday. So I still have to go through all that. Plus, what I was explaining was, I go in and I called like our desk that handles this stuff, and like was calling me, like, oh yeah, hey, is this still going on? Like, oh yeah, there's an email chain. Just go consult the email chain. I log on, and literally the last email in my inbox was, okay, cool, we're gonna start the maintenance of the email server. It's gonna take from like 7 p.m. until midnight. And I'm like, God damn. God damn. So I log in, it's like, well, now I can't get my email. And luckily, after 20 minutes, it comes through anyway, and we're good. We're good. We got it taken care of. It's done. It's just like stressful, because like when you get that call, you don't know what it's going to be. That said, I am going to turn my phone on. If you were here earlier in the stream, you would have noticed I said like, oh, my phone's turning off, I need to charge it. And yeah, I guess I should have charged it. Although, I'll be honest, I'd much rather take that call where it's like 7:30 on a Friday. Whereas like I was on call, like the official primary on call, where they call you for any issue in the department last week, and it's like, I got a call like Friday at like 3 in the morning, and it was like an hour-long issue, and you just get a call, and you like don't even know what's going on. Oh, okay. I'm getting good damage. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Don't kill me. His main issue is he is just so lethal. Oh, I hit Y now. Can you guys just deal with him? I have never tried this. Elrod. I'll take that, actually. Come on.
Stick close. Let's go.
So if I send them back, that might have
Stay over there.
saved me a lot. Get out. Because I can sit out here. He won't come out of the stalls. Unless I go back in, so. Please be food. Please be food. Oh. That fight was amazing. Please tell me, Mike's unmuted, right? That fight never goes that way. This is, like I said, this is one of the fights that scare me because it's hard. And with where it falls, it's like one of... I would consider it like the first main fight, really. Like, you have... Was it Leon? The motorcycle guy? I think it's Leon, right? And he's hard, but he's like... I would list him as weirdly optional. Because, like, you can just leave at any point. Oh, easy. No. So, like, this is the first, like, hard fight. Also, I love little, like, I don't know, it's, like, just funny situations that happen. This is my favorite one, because it's a hard fight, right? You don't want to die and have to do the fight again. See, that's what I had. I had those, and that was my plan with the boxing clause. But, like, look at this. I don't want to fight him yet, so, of course, I'm going to save. So, inevitably, she's right here, and every time I play this game, I run up and, like, save right here. And it's just, like, what? This is, like, so weird. You just, like, run up and, like, pee, like, right next to her. She's tired. She's like, hold on 1 minute. I got to use the restroom. I just always found... Oh, now, Chuck, come on. That's just showing off. That's actually a good idea. Oh, my God. I saw that red bar from Signs of Life, and I always thought someone was dying. I think everyone's here. Oh, did I have a vodka, or is that... Okay. Who needs this the most? Elrod. Come on. There we go. Alright.
Follow me.
But yeah, I guess he's one of the ones I probably need to experiment more with on like good ways to beat him. For example, like
Keep it moving.
there's a couple really good items. Yeah, let's go back to the casino or the
Yeah.
safe house. There's a couple good items in the BBQ shack. I don't know. See, like for example, I'm just iffy. Like, I'm gonna try something risky since I just saved. There is something I need to get up here. I don't remember what. I know there's Zombrex, but I think there's either a gambling book or the drinking book. But I definitely need at least the Zombrex. I guess I don't need it, but it'll save me time. The problem is it's going to... They're just going to have to chill there for a little while. And I might not have enough time to get back, so I might end up reverting this save. But if this is the drinking book or the gambling book, I kind of need it. And the Zombrex is just a bonus. I'm wasting so much time. They don't seem to be taking damage, though, because as long as they keep running back and forth. I do wish it was possible, though, that they would... If they're literally running by healing items, it'd be kind of nice if they got it themselves. Okay. I'm going to approach it squarely. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. No! Do you see that? I accidentally pulled the left... Okay, we're just going to leave. I'm going to come back later. I'm too flustered from that call and everything else. I can just save these guys and come back.
To me.
But yeah, basically I need what's up there. Zombrex is just a bonus, because...
Keep
Yeah.
moving. Stay close.
Ted's the one with Snowflake, right? See, I personally... I find Ted really easy because I always go get the sniper rifle because there's a stake next to it. Plus, I think... Or conversely, you could just drag him into the restaurant where Snowflake can't go. That would work too. Don't tell spoilers. I will keep spoilers to a minimum. I can do that.
Keep going.
Fair enough.
This way.
Is someone trapped, or are they just hitting each other? I'm actually surprised I even got another call, because one of the details that they don't explicitly tell you is you can only have 8 survivors in the area at any time. Okay. So, a lot of times if you're escorting this many survivors, you won't get more calls. So you have to be careful because it can actually hurt you if you're doing something like in Dead Rising 1, there's an achievement for escorting 8 survivors at one time. And there's one for escorting 8 female survivors at one time. And to do that, you have to kind of go out of your way to make that situation happen. So a lot of times you'll ignore like scoops that have all males, right? But then you have an issue where more scoops won't spawn because they're still in there. That mapping on his teeth was terrible. I hope you saw that. Okay. Done. So that's a bunch of PP. Just look at that. Awesome. Just go to the door, right side, and the fight starts. God, that could have gone so much better. Like I probably saved me that the first fight went really well with the cure agent, but still.
All right.
I just feel like I have time I need to make up now, because I could have gotten that thing with Katie. That would give me some more PP if I grabbed one of those on the way. I could have gotten the Zombrex. Whole thing. Okay. So let's evaluate here. Once bitten. I want to confirm because I haven't actually looked at this mission. Oh, okay. Once bitten, you need Zombrex for him, but Code Blue's also coming up at 10 p.m. So what is it? It's 8:05 p.m. So I have time. I need to prepare. So probably gonna ditch these shotguns. Oh, that's a good point. I guess you do heal when you level up. I guess it's something I've never exploited. But that's actually, I think, a really good call out. I mainly grab those just as a... I don't know, as an excuse. Because it means I don't have to... I want to go over here. If I grab the food magazines, it means that I don't have to really worry about carrying food ever. I can get by just on stuff I pick up. It's really just a preference. It matters more in Dead Rising 1, but I agree, yeah, like that's actually a good point. Psycho 1 is good too.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so let's get that item. I'm pretty sure it's a drinking book, right? I'm doing this all but from memory, by the way, if that's not clear. The only exception is I have the schedule up for the survivors. You'll have to let me know if I end up just straight up missing something, though. Because that's always my concern. Particularly, it's the tape it or die guys. Those were always finicky for me, even if I had the wiki up. Because it just always seemed like you'd go there and everything on the wiki, based off what it says, they should be there, but the door just won't open. And the fact that you have to do that like twice, too. So it's like if either time messes it up, you can't get them. And they're like, not only are they like 3 or 4 survivors, but then also it's like they have at least 2, 3 common cards. Is it bargaining? Is that really it? Oh well, okay.
Cool.
So that's worth it at least. Oh! Wait, this is way easier to get than the other donkey. Or rabbit. Did I get a rabbit or did I get a knock? I'm going to take this back to Katie. I got time. I think I got the donkey. I guess I could check, but I thought it was blue. Makes sense. The main one I need to get, I always carry is, you need the 3 gambling ones just to do the poker missions. Like, they're technically optional, but it's a big deal. Plus, it lets you do stuff like just gamble at slot machines and make money. I really recommend the drinking magazine. It makes it so that Chuck never gets sick. And I found that to be a huge help. Especially for the twin fight with the katanas. Though I felt that's critical because there's like no actual food in that fight. And they hit very hard. So being able to just like chug vodka is a huge help. Yeah, I've been meaning to run to it. There's that one. It has like marbles. It has like the pony horse. Stick pony. There's a name for that. Like the head of a horse like a stick. There's hobble horse? It's like a specific name. But yeah, I've been meaning to get to that one. I like to get these out of the way when it's easy. And then when I have a lot of inventory, I like to do a pass at that store. I'm also dumb. There was a squirt gun I could have picked up. That was right there too. I think that's a gift for Katie. I don't explicitly need to get all of these because I'm not going for the achievement. Damn it, it was a rabbit. Here, have another one. Okay, so that's actually good to know. Because I used to always grab that rabbit. I went Elmer Fudd there for a second. I used to always grab that rabbit next to the sniper because it was right there. And it was a pain to get back. Big bear on the store to the right out of the safe room passage. Casual gals. Yes, it's a good call out. I'm going to grab the bear on the way back, I think. Is a donkey. So I had the donkey. So I need the donkey. I got the rabbit. Why is it so hard to say that? I need the donkey, but I got the rabbit. And then we'll be good. And I just want the extra PP. I didn't actually look. I don't know if it's that big of a boost. So you're saying it's in casual gals? I think you're thinking of this one over here, Styling Toddlers. Or Illusions, one of those. This is where I thought there was a bear. I got the elephant here. Or are you saying the beach ball is here? I'm following now. Then the bear here. Surprisingly, she does not want the dice. Giant gambling dice. Or the firecrackers. That'd be a great parent. Hey, I know you're trapped in the safe house where everyone's terrified. Here's some firecrackers. Normally also I have some time where I would actually dress up Chuck, but I just haven't. So let me get this back. Get the bull. Where I usually go get the bull, if I recall, it's the toy store on the second floor of Royal Flush Plaza has a bull. I think that's the best place I know of to get that. But yeah, it's actually a weird thing. Like, with finding the toy animals, for most people, is only a one-off thing you do to get the achievement in this game. But for like you or me, when you're doing a level 1 run, it kind of matters because it's just a nice little way to get PP. And honestly, I don't know if it's the most effective way to get PP. Like, I'm pretty sure there might be better ways that aren't as annoying. Like, I could just go get the easy ones and turn them in. But I like the routing, and I think it makes interesting content having to like drag this giant stuffed bear and how frustrating it is to do that. So let me see. Let me actually consult. How much PP do I get for this? It's like, oh, that's totally worth it. 15,000? Although I'm sure it's relative to. Take the ball, Katie. Take the ball. She's all like shying away as I'm jumping into her. Yeah, oh yeah, that's totally worth it. That's like half a level from those two. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it. I'm reaffirming my belief that I should get toys for Katie. That's good. Once bitten, he's over in the green area, 835. So the thing is, like, I could go get these guys, Code Blue and Once Bitten, but they literally go until tomorrow at like 7 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. And the next mission after them isn't until 3 a.m., I think. So I guess I just need to do probably... I'll come back because I know I need to go up to the toy store, I think, once more. So I'm not going to get those kits for Katie yet. I'm going to go do the mission and get another piece of Zombrex while I do it. I think that's the best thing, is to go do that mission. Which is, I think, why they leave that time gap in there, so you have time to do the mission. You can totally see that in both Dead Rising 1 and 2, by the way, is when they intend, like, this is time for the mission. Like, once you play it a lot, you can totally feel how they wanted the pacing to happen. Especially once you see, like, the end times of scoops. Like, a lot of scoops feel like you have less time than you actually do. That was glitchy. Just because of how they're positioned, that either they go way longer than you realize at first, or it's the opposite, especially in this game, where it actually becomes, like, active at, like, midnight, but you don't get a call necessarily until, like, 3 or 4 in the morning. So when you see the wiki, it's like, oh, well, I can just go there right now and just take care of it. Right. Yeah. I think it just gets better as you get better at the game, and there's small things you can optimize. As long as you stay ahead of the time, it's fine. But it gets me too. Like, there's definitely times I'm sure it's going to come up with this, or in Dead Rising 1 it happens where sometimes you just got to improvise, and it's like, I don't have the time to take these people back to the safe room, so instead you have to drag like 6 people. It's a pain. One of the big things I would love to do in these runs is be able to control the skateboard. Because in Dead Rising 1, the skateboard greatly increases your movement speed, and it's a slottable item so you can put it in your inventory. So stuff like here, you could cut out so much time. But the way the skateboard works, they change the control scheme from 1 to 2, and it's very hard to control. Oh yeah, yeah, that tape it or die is pretty bad. Yeah. Like, I'm always cutting it. And I don't know, did you do overtime? The other one that's always very difficult for me... is this the area that's the gambling book? The other one that's really difficult is saving Rebecca Chang at the end of the game after the fight with the military dude. I forget his name. It's so tight to get both of the military guys without guns and then get her back when you have to, like, carry her. Oh, I missed the thing up there. Let me double check. I still have L-Rods, just basically that. I think also with saving time, there's a little bit of RNG there. Like, if you get a speed boost early on in your leveling, it's great. Okay, machete. Is that it? I don't think this is it. What are you? Oh! I don't remember that being there. Don't worry, man. I missed Tape It or Die so many times. It's extremely finicky. Plus, like, it's so easy to forget and mess up if you've never done it before. Like, the fact that, like, not one, you need to have the shortcut on that. Like, that's just a given. You need to be, like, prepared to do it. Like, you need to be waiting outside that section of the mall, the city, to go in as soon as possible and just get going and have, like, queens ready. It's tough. It's tough. I feel you. Honestly, like, a lot of times I'll do the... If I'm just doing a casual run, I'll purposely, like, go and kill them because they're so annoying. So what's that? Code blue. Cool. Oh, wait, once bitten. Isn't... Was he in here? Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, so I'm fine. I am fine. Shout out to the gym flexing here. I should grab a skateboard and see if I can't do more with it. Because, like, there are times, like, right here where even if I can't control it, there's so much space with these zombies. I bet I could do okay. Oh, yeah, totally. There are so many, like, little ways you can save time in this game, but they're not very apparent when you first play through. And even now, like, that's a big thing I talk about. Like, I can see where there's probably points to save it. I just haven't had a chance or a reason to really sit down and perfect the game, so to speak. Because a lot of times you don't necessarily need it. It's sometimes easier just to really reload a save. Speaking of which, let me actually save. So this is the part where I really would like to do a run of Dead Rising 2 without killing any zombies. But this is the section that kind of prevents that. Okay, well, first off, do these guys count as kills, don't they? I usually have the Defiler here, and these guys go down so much easier. I guess I haven't made a Defiler yet. Oh, wow. Am I? Okay. Okay. That's good to know. Aren't these, like, really weak fires off? Yeah, I really need to make it a fire. Okay. But they don't count for kills. That's good. Yeah, me too. I always forgot until it was, like, my only weapon. So, human enemies don't count. That's good to know. But here's the issue about whether or not a deathless run is possible. Is if you could reasonably navigate this without killing a single zombie. I think it's possible. Like, for example, I know for a fact it is possible to get on it with that jump. Or if not that jump, this one. But you need to be perfect because it, like, or maybe that. It's something weird, like, the train rubber bands. And it, like, this is going to sound dumb, but it, like, accelerates around curves. And it slows down on straightaways, I think. It's really weird like that. This is actually not that hard. You could probably do it. I might make that my, like, next project. Yeah. So far, that seems reasonably possible. Especially because as long as you seem to be, like, right behind him, it's okay. Although this is also a huge time waste. That's what I don't like. Like, I really would like to also figure out how to do that, like, quick jump. Because I've done it once. Or maybe it wasn't the little first jump, it's the second one, where if you don't go for the first jump, you'll get it. Oh, hold on. Is my controller messing with me? I think it is. You also don't have to actually jump on the train. You just need to, like, hit the edge. So I use an Xbox Elite controller, and you can set it like a half press or a whole press on how far it goes down. And on some games, it doesn't register properly. Like, I know in Destiny it's like that, where if you ride your Sparrow and you have that set, you can never actually accelerate to full speed. And I feel like that might be happening a little bit now. See, like, this is it just feels like I should have caught up to this by now. Or I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy and I need to cut through these zombies more. I think this is it. So, like, screw it. Yeah, that's probably it. Concerning. Like I said, it needs to be possible. I think this might be it. There we go. Yeah. Like, obviously I didn't land in there, but it worked. Yeah, I think the second one's the way to go. As long as you could do that consistently, and then you'll be fine. I got a message on Reddit. Hold up. Oh. The game did not hold up. That worked out, though. Okay. The thing is, I'm still on a timer here. I got these claws, so that should be fine. Oh, good timing. Also, like, this is a big point. Like, I think you can get the dodge roll by this point. Maybe I think of other mercenaries, and like that's a big deal against like any kind of human enemies. Also, you'll see me jump. If you can jump their bullets, you don't stun lock like that the same way. Or even with that stumble, you like stumble forward through it, so it's still better. Oh yeah, see, yeah, that's what you said. It's one of those things where it's like, there's certain things, it's like if you think to do it, you notice it immediately how good it is like that. Like, but I know some people who don't do that. Like, don't jump the shots. But once you do it once, it's like, oh, this is awesome. There you go. All right, so here's a good tip. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay. I think I can take a cart. No, I can't. Tastes like chicken, so he's gonna be tough. I'm gonna need to probably do those survivors first. But I believe, if I recall, so there's a hidden Zombrex down here. And it's basically guaranteed because you actually get dropped off right by it, so you can just run over here. Man, I really need a skateboard, because that would be super useful here. I bet I can use a skateboard. I bet I just haven't tried it. But it's over by where that maintenance room is, I believe. Over on a ramp on the left side. Totally, I totally get you. That's one of the reasons I kind of started doing those guides of Dead Rising, is it was clear that there's a lot of info to go out and get and learn. But at the same time, it's not really collected anywhere good. Now, backseat as much as you want, because go for it. It's been like a year and a half easily since I played this. So there's going to be plenty of stuff I just forget. See, that's it up there. Yeah, look, it looks like a straight shot. I'm going to go get a skateboard as soon as I can. I think you can... I thought originally that there was also a little... like golf cart thing that I rode up here. And either maybe I missed that or it didn't spawn for some reason in the remaster. I don't know. Or like maybe it got destroyed by the train and I normally got on before then. But it doesn't, I don't think it usually takes this long. But the nice thing is there's also an exit up here, so you can just take that up into the main strip. So we're just running. I will say there is an annoying amount of downtime in Dead Rising sometimes. Like even when I play Dead Rising 1, which I have really well done and really well routed, you just end up with this kind of dead time where you just save all the survivors, but there's just nothing else to do. Like you could go out and farm PP or kills or get achievements and stuff, but there's no real reason to. You don't need to. Same with this, like sometimes you'll just get downtime, and that's why I'm like, I guess I'll just go get gifts for Katie, because then you get PP and stuff. Dodge these guys. So I guess I should actually look, hold on, because I'm going there. So I want to go do Code Blue, because it's right here. Code Blue, once bitten... I don't think I'm in a position to do Taste Like Chicken. Is there a chainsaw? They have that paddle here, by the way. I don't think... Oh, they do. Perfect. I'll take that. This was like the premiere item that they showed off for Dead Rising 2. But it's unfortunately it's a heavy item, so like if I switch away from it, you drop it. And because of that, like the paddle is also... I think the paddle is also a heavy item. Or I guess no, the chainsaw is. So it's just like... It's so hard to use this thing. Because like many great weapons in Dead Rising, it's great, but it's hard to get it anywhere where you want it. Yeah, I hear you. Like, it's amazing. It's just tough. You cannot save Tim Duggan, by the way. He's just always dead. It always gets me, though. Is the leadership book here? Yeah, I'll take this. The leadership book has a couple specific uses. Come on, talk to me. Oh, yeah, he's not the one who needs Zombrex. Come on.
Right. Keep close.
I will try the chef. I will try the chef. I guess the easiest way is to go to the right. I mean, I guess I have a while. See, damn it, I dropped it. I'd like to maybe come back. The issue is the chef. Like, I actually think, design-wise, the chef is a amazing boss. Because he's not that deadly. He runs away from you a lot. But he's the only boss in the game that he can't kill you, but you also can't kill him. Because it's so easy to get away, but since he heals himself, it's like... Sometimes I would just end up like, I just don't have the damage right now. I just gotta come back. You know, when I can tank a few hits to be able to get damage on him. Like, that's happened to me before. There is a couple strategies I've come up with that are okay, but they're just not consistent. If you take the Flaming Bull Skull, which you can make here, that has the potential, I believe, to one-shot it. It's not very likely or easy to control. And I say one-shot, you basically need to get him stuck in a corner and repeatedly ram him. But that's, again, it's like with the Leon fight. It's not something you can do consistently. But I'm going to try. See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping if I don't take damage... The main thing is he's going to throw those knives, right? Or those plates. Oh, yes. Yes.
Your gherkin is peckled.
Hold on, I'm going to go for this because he's going to eat. Because those do a lot more damage. But this is what I was saying, where it's like you almost need to be able to, like, tank his hits. Like, so if I could run after him right away, that would be huge. But now it's like, I don't think these are revving. Yeah, I got to rev it again. Oh. Okay, go eat. Go eat. Nice. He's going, he's going. It's so good. Don't you do that to me, Antoine. It's mainly just the re-rev that's the issue, I think. That... It's like I only vaguely remember that. I thought if you held X... Wow. Okay, there we go. I thought if you held X, you did a haymaker with this thing. Or maybe you need that move. There we go. That fight went okay. Okay. So yeah, he doesn't respawn. He gets, I guess, I would call it iframes, invincibility frames. A lot of bosses do that, and I think they do that in Dead Rising 2 because it was a little bit easy in Dead Rising 1 to lock them down where they couldn't respawn. So it's why they made a lot of fights. A lot of fights don't have the same strategies because it's really hard to exploit that without them just getting free hits in on you. So, is my chainsaw still there? Yeah, I still don't know a good strategy for him. I think really the best strategy you can do... Do I not have my chainsaw? Did that despawn? Looks like it did. Oh well. Like, I feel like the best strategy is just get enough damage where you can out-tank him and keep chasing him when he's healing. I think that's the best. It's not ideal, but I think it's the best. But yeah, what I think I should have done is maybe have backed away a little bit and then thrown that chainsaw at him. I assume it does extra damage. I mean, the thing is, like, there's probably a lot of things you can do. I just never sat down and really experimented too much with it. Like, because generally I can kind of bumble through it. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Do I still have machete? No, I don't. There's dynamite over here. Because, like, for example, there's that LMG bear where you get the one of the stuffed robotic bears. Give it a light machine gun. I've always wondered... Oh, what are you? Bargaining too. I think the bargaining magazines could be really crucial, but I haven't ever tried. But I always wondered, like, you could take that into a fight. Or just, like, what if you just brought, you know, survivors with you? Like, that's something... It did die a valiant death. That's something I think that's kind of underrated. Oh, yeah, Sven's here, isn't he? I forgot about Sven. But I remember, like, if you go fight some fights in 1... you can give sniper rifles to the characters, and they're not that bad because they don't always aggro. Like, there's a couple psychos that will not aggro on survivors by default in Dead Rising 1. So you can give them snipers and they just peck away. They don't do a lot of damage. Okay, I mean... Come on.
Don't fall behind.
There we go. But I always wondered, like, if there wouldn't be times where you could bring, I don't know, Sven, like, give Sven a sniper rifle. He might not take it, I don't know off the top of my head. But let's say I just get him to stand in the corner. If all he does, theoretically, is just stand there. I think I can put this in my inventory, right? Oh, no, I can't. All he needs to do is just stand there and tap Antoine. And if he can tap Antoine and interrupt the healing, that alone would be huge in that fight. But I don't know off the top of my head if that is possible.
Stick with me.
It's definitely an interesting idea. I think the main thing that I run into, though, with this stuff, is not only do you need a good setup, but it needs to be consistent, fast, easy, and not take more time than just... again, bumbling through the fight. Because I feel like a lot of fights you can just kind of, like, wing it, and you're okay. Whereas, yeah, maybe I could go kill him really easy with a LMG bear. Am I forgetting something? No, yeah, just you. But then you have to deal with making that thing, and I don't want to. Good, good. But yeah, I'm definitely interested. It's something where, if Dead Rising 2 was still fresh, like if it just came out, I would be more interested in experimenting with it. But really, it's obviously kind of on the decline. And I don't mean that in like a bad way. It's an old game. Even it's nice that the remasters came out and that kind of breathed some light into it. Life, not light. But it's not like you really need to do much. This is actually a complaint I do have about the series. I don't know if it's a huge complaint, but one thing that sucks about Dead Rising is at the end of the day, you just kind of beat it. You know, it's not a game you like come back to for the multiplayer. Like, it's fun, but for the most part, like, while I can find stuff that is fun to do, like I enjoy doing these challenge runs, I think if you're the average person, you just kind of like, okay, I beat everyone, I saved everyone, I've done all the achievements. I'm done with this game forever.
Come on.
And I feel like that's why it's not worth it doing some of those strategies, because it's like most people, like no one's really doing, besides me, like 6 to 10 runs of Dead Rising. You know, where you need to know how to like perfectly kill Antoine. It's like you really only need it once. Because like, honestly, I don't think there's any reason to like repeatedly save Cinda. I think there is an off the record. Yeah, I think so. There's some slight differences in off the record. Very slight, but well, just like who gives you what quests. And I think Cinda gives you a quest that another NPC does in Dead Rising 2. It's like a really tiny, weird change to make, but that's the only reason I could think where you need to kill. But and again, there's no reason to do that quest. You know, it's like you just do it once and you're fine. What I think I would love to have seen is if Dead Rising had more randomized runs, or achievements that were more like this. Like I really would love to see them in Dead Rising 5 embrace these kind of like challenge runs, like beat the game in so long, beat the game with no death, beat the game with all psychos, beat the game at level 1, so on and so on, beat the game using only your fists. I don't think Terror Reality is bad. I just think it's kind of dead. And again, I just feel like most people would only play Terror's Reality to get cash for Dead Rising 2. And really, it's almost easier to get money in-game than it is to go to multiplayer. And it's fun, but at the end of the day, it's just mini-games. Like, it's not, I don't know how to put it, it's like, it's not bad, it's just not long. It's like, I enjoy all the time I had with the game, but it's, yeah. If you want to play, you should just go post on the Dead Rising subreddit. You only need 4 people to play. And it's not terribly hard sometimes to get 4 people together. I've been wanting to, because like I have some achievements I probably need to get from there. And it would just be fun, because I've only ever played like one good session of Terror is Reality. And so I don't even know all the games.
You're a real pal.
So it's 1:41 a.m.? Antoine, so I don't have anything for 2 hours. Okay. So the next mission's at 3 a.m. It's industrial fashion. So I can get... Let me route this out. So I think now's a good time. Let me go look up the books. Because I'm going to need those 3 gambling books, and I'd like to get them. You ideally want to get them as late as possible. Wait for it. So here, let me go look up. I need to look up the magazines. You ideally want to get them late as possible, because if you get them early on, it actually kind of sucks because they take up 3 inventory slots when you really can't afford it. So it's Fortune Park. No, that's off the record. Shamrock Casino. Okay, that makes sense. Palisades Mall stands. Okay, I can get that one right now. Royal Flush Plaza. Magazines. That's it. I don't know how I don't know the names and places of these books. It's honestly, that's something I really should have learned a long time. It's the same thing. There's like 3 or 4 major books in Dead Rising 1. I can't tell you where they are. I don't think Terror is Reality is broken. I think it's right. It's just that, I mean, the PC version might be. I can't speak for that. I think it's just that there's never any players and the matchmaking is super critical. Like, I remember that being a thing that I thought was weird, where it will not start a game with 3 out of 4 players, even though that really is fine. Or like, it's too bad they just didn't give bots. Like, if there's literally no one on, let me just replay the bots you play against in level 1. Like when you start the story. It just seemed like that'd be a nice touch. How is the PC version? I've considered looking into it because it would be a little bit, it'd be useful, I'll be honest, for some stuff. But I don't know how well it runs. I really like the idea of mods, and I wouldn't mind being like getting into that, because I talked before, like there's certain mods I would make, honestly, just because I know, I'd love to see them. Like, I really think what would breathe a lot of life into Dead Rising 1. There you go. Did I not get the cash? Okay. Or, there I go. Okay. I'm just gonna put my controller down. Save that for later. Let's play the When Did I Last Save game. Second crash. Second crash. If you like DR2, I'd say probably play DR1 next. So I gotta go save these people again. Wonderful. It does bug me that there's no autosave. I guess I should save every time I got to the save room. That's on me. I don't think you can play 3. I think 4 might eventually get a port. There was a car here. There we go. I think 4 could get a port eventually. I don't think... 3 I don't think ever will, just because... Damn it, I should have definitely have saved after Antoine. That's just on me. But yeah, I think 3, since it was considered a launch title for the Xbox One, I don't think they're ever going to give that up. I think that's going to be... I think they signed some deal where it's going to be only Xbox, far past the point where it's practical to make it. Unfortunately. Ouch, that sucks. Ah, oh, this cone. I've been there, man. I remember when my only laptop I had was like this really old MacBook I won in a contest. And it was fine. It was great. Just the fact that I got it was awesome. But, come on. But I remember it's like I would want to play anything. It's just like, nope. What is with the physics in this game? And it's the same way where it's like I would try to play something and just be like, nope, nope. So I ended up just like, God, I think I just emulate stuff because it could emulate a turn-based Final Fantasy game at least. But I remember lamenting, I don't really use my PC to game. Like I actually have a fairly decent PC because obviously I'll stream, but mainly it's like I bought a decent CPU and GPU for editing. Just because I didn't want it to take forever for that to happen. But, okay, I'm going to make this again. But I believe there's got to be some destined place where this chainsaw is amazing. I just don't know what it is. And I think the secret that I've never looked into is you can hold the paddle in your inventory and not drop it, which opens up some possibilities where a chainsaw might be if you have the foresight to bring this with you. I don't know where that would be or what fight it could possibly be amazing in, but I feel like that must exist. Okay, come on, get the leadership book. Alright, so I didn't actually get around to talking about this. I picked up that leadership book, which is something that I think sounds like it's not that... It sounds good, but then when you get it, it's not as good as you want. But it secretly is amazing, you just don't realize it. Just a little tidbit about that. So, I guess how do I put it? So generally speaking, it makes them more aggressive and less scared, but you don't really need that book. This one is a small one, yeah. You don't really need the book because they're pretty much fine. And have a theory that sometimes the book hurts you because it makes them fight zombies that they shouldn't fight, they should run away from. However, it has one perk that isn't mentioned, where survivors seem to have different states that of descending disability in movement. So it's like they can walk and have to hold hands to speed up. They are crippled and need a shoulder, and they can't walk at all. And I don't know why, but the leadership book will upgrade them one tier within reason. So like the mermaid can never walk, but there's a dude you do escort, who is like a war vet, and he has a bad leg, but if you have the book, he walks normally. This one's the small one. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Mag. One in the security. Are you talking about? Wow. God damn. It's mainly just the fact that I have to re-rev it. Fine, you can heal. I don't even care. Oh my, see, or like the fact that, yeah. It was the same issue with, chainsaws in Dead Rising 1, like the big chainsaws. Like, it was so easy to lose them. And then you had to re-rev them. It just wasn't worth it. So, okay, we're gonna try this again. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about, is the crippled survivors move perfectly. That's a huge thing that's not listed. So, yeah. But I feel like normally when you just see it, you don't realize. God damn it, it's like I just need a stab. I don't even have the knife gloves. What happened to those? Did I make those on the way here? Okay, we're gonna go. Look how little damage it does. I have... All I have is, like, melee weapons. It's gonna take a while. And my one swing does less damage than he heals in one bite, so to speak. Oh my god.
What's the matter? Indigestion.
I think I need to use this. What is this shotgun effect you got going there, Antoine? It's like I can only hurt him when he goes to heal. That's literally my only hope. Heal, damn it. You're wasting so much time. Maybe when he's switching weapons... I can't even hop over the counter. See, it's like, it's got potential. So much potential that broke in it. Wow, the bat's really that much better than the machete? That's what I wanted, I guess. He might kill me right now. I was just trying to, like, get him to stop eating. Well, there's stuff over here, isn't there? God damn. I gotta improvise. I swear, normally I'm not this bad. Oh, come on. I didn't realize I was gonna heal. Okay. This is what I was talking about, where, like, sometimes I just, like, don't have the damage. Yeah, they do more damage, for sure. Okay, I need to start with this. That's good. Then I can tank that, and I'll follow up with the bat. It's like there. He took the stun there. Which is interesting, because I never use that attack. God, I need that dodge roll. Because it's like, I can't get out. There you go. I think I get one stun. Yeah, and then he takes the second one. But then it's also like I kind of want to hit him then. Okay. This is how the fight usually goes for me, by the way. I'm just intent, like... God, he recovers so fast.
Oh, I do like to play with my food.
See, that's it. I can't take... I must not be able to go for that second strike. Oh, that's just dirty. Dude, oh, that's death. Okay. So now this time I'm gonna bring weapons to that fight. See, it's like I also, thing is, I like to experiment on these enemies as I fight them. So that's why I was like, let me try this again. Let me try this again. So, okay, I'm gonna get the Zombrex. What's something else I can bring? I believe there's something in here. What do we got? Saw blades and this. I think this is also heavy, though. No, a Defiler would be good.
Let's do this.
Oh, I can't take... Yeah, screw it. I can't take... Oh, I do have this. I can't take that on the golf cart. That's why I dropped it. Again, this has been 2 years since I played this, so don't hate too hard.
Nice.
Okay. It is fun to try stuff. The thing is, like, I know there exists some weird combo that will decimate him. I just don't know what it is or how to find it. Like I said, there's a lot of ones that come close. Like that paddle saw, if you could break the combo, like maybe if you had the dodge roll, where you drop it, but you can miss his hit, that would work. Or like I know, for example, if you bring in the Flaming Skull, that can do probably the most damage to him. But you have absolutely no way to retaliate, and it's the same thing where you constantly drop it. I thought of maybe you could also get really creative if you wanted to and make IEDs, or propane tanks and nails, and just put it by all of his food. I don't think those do a lot of damage, though. They just knock him down. And you can't consistently stun lock him because after so many hits, he just is fine. So it's like you almost need to like have a fast, hard-hitting weapon, hit him once, back up, headshot, let him run away. I think that's kind of the feel you have to do. Or like I said, I don't know if he targets survivors, so I might be okay if I just bring Sven into the fight or do different stuff. Like there's so many like what ifs. Like I believe there's stuff in this game, there wasn't 2, you know, Dead Rising 1, that makes zombies slip. And like I'd be curious, does that affect psychos? It didn't in 1. I'm not gonna bring the chainsaw this time. Maybe this. Let me try this. I'm gonna try the rocket launcher, which I believe I should be able to make over here. Yeah, because there's that Blanc mask. Battery. Yeah. Oh, I guess they had it anyway. This is good. Is this a heavy, though?
Killer.
Okay. Okay. Let me consult the map here. Why does that not pop up? Oh, is on something else? Okay. I'm going to get Sven. He's an easy one. I'm going to try this because while you have the same issue of dropping it as with the rest, I'm hoping because it's a ranged weapon, it won't matter. So many what ifs, though. So many what ifs. It's like I'm just thinking, like, what about the electric rake? I know that has some weird interactions because it's like a bunch of tiny little hits. I don't know. I could make the laser sword. That's not too bad. like I said, the thing is, like, I feel like they actually spent a good amount of time trying to balance bosses, and that's why it's so hard to have like one strategy that works and you have to kind of wing it, especially with him where you can't even go with a slow but safe strategy.
Stay close.
Because he's gonna heal. But I don't know. I think it would help a lot if I could actually look at the source code for him. Like, that's the real question, is I don't actually know. Like, I know how often he starts having the iframes, right? Where you can't hit him around. But I don't know when they wear off. Sometimes it feels like it's a good, like, 10, 20 seconds. And that's why it's tough, where it's like, if you could, then you knew, like, okay, enough time passed where I can now hit him when he goes to eat. So I'm gonna make this, and if that doesn't work and I get like kicked out where he fully heals, I'll go make the flaming skull. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff I will say that does not damage the same way I think it should with realism. Like, for example, you would think the Blambo would devastate bosses, but it is bad. It's all knockback, no damage. Especially, I don't know if this was just me or what have you. I probably should save on the way over here. I think there's a save on the other side, though. But yeah, like, for me, in Off the Record, the Blambo is like super nerfed, and I couldn't figure out why. Because it doesn't do a lot of damage, it's just solely for... See, look at that, look at that. It's not taken. See, like there, it's like you need to be like super meta about it. How did... Oh. I don't know how he hit me with that, Sven. You are not helpful. Also, I have the Defiler now. Man. That's dirty. Okay, I need to get Sven away, because he's just going to die, and apparently he can activate the invincibility frames of this dude.
Wait there.
Okay, this is feeling a little cheap right now. Okay, that's me hitting myself. So this is so sloppy, I'm sorry. Oh. They got some good, like, range on him. It doesn't seem to hurt him that much, though. Or maybe it's just I need a direct hit. It's pretty stable, though. If I'm always coming through like there, I could see him. It's just the fact that, like, those iframes, like, that's just cheap. And, like, going full auto, it's like, nah, you're not hitting him. And I think that's honestly one of the things I didn't like about Dead Rising 2 when it came out was... It's like, that can happen with other bosses where they can have iframes and react. But it wasn't like where they just don't take damage. Come on. I'm probably gonna need to cut this fairly close, too. That was probably the best thing that could happen right there. The fact that he let me heal and he didn't actually interrupt. So this should interrupt. 2 hits. Dodge. And also the thing is I need to rush it. Like, that's the thing I think. It's like, I could do this loop, right? I'm doing enough damage to outset his healing as long as I don't get hit. Like, okay, 2 hits. Stunned, right? Dodge. Assuming I don't get beamed in the head. Sven, no. Oh, hit him, hit him. I wonder, like, would it be worth it maybe, like, dragging some zombies in here? This fight is going literally nowhere. See, there, it's like he at least, like, takes the damage.
He's almost ready.
Are you serious?
Taste this. See, my food is to die for.
I'm honestly thinking, like, did they, like, patch this or something? See, like, I still say, I think the best thing is just bring a hard-hitting weapon and you just take the damage. I think that's it. Like, I think if I came in with a painkiller, I think the painkiller juice would be perfect. I think that's all you might need. There we go. Okay. It is possible to kill him without taking hits. I just don't know a good consistent way that doesn't take forever. Like, you can do it with any gun. It's just a pain. Like, I think... I don't know. I need ideas. Like I said, I could delay it.
Yeah.
And if I keep playing this game, like if I do a no death run, not no death, opposite of that, no kill run, then I would probably investigate more into a good way to do that.
Keep going.
Because yeah, he's always been a kind of a sore point for me,
Head that way.
where it's just random. I guess I say that about basically all the psychos in this game though, because they really are just kind of random. You don't know what you're going to get. I think he just flares up in particular because of that heal. Everyone else, you can usually find enough food where you whittle it down and it's fine. But with his heal, like I said before when I talked to him, you sometimes just cannot outdo that. I still wonder, like, the big thing that makes me question is, like, survivor strats. Like, would it be worth it, perhaps?
Still there?
Would it be worth it to just bring a survivor as just a target? You know, like, let them get hit? Like, I say I have to rescue all survivors. Like, that might be a great thing where it's like, if you don't have to rescue everybody, just, like, let Jasper die. Or I don't know, like, you can recruit Jasper before, so maybe he's useful in that fight. Like, if I could find a consistent setup, he might be good. Or like I said, if I could find out how to use the moose head or whatever without constantly losing it and having to stop, put it on, and by then he's healing. What is that face?
Keep it moving.
Okay.
This way.
Let's go.
Bitchin'.
Did she say bitchin'? That I tried to, like, study for, basically. Like, find new strategies and whatnot. Because I felt like no one had really done that and recorded it before. Ouch. Thanks for calling it out when I go offline, though. Because I usually don't see it until after. Yeah, it'll pop. Hopefully it seems good. I think that was just a one-off thing. Because it's not reporting me dropping frames other than that half-second disconnect. So I'm going to turn these in. Yeah. Turn these guys in, save at the safe house, and then I'll go. I swear I usually have more money by now. Is there some scoop I get cash? Fun fact, that's Antoine's actual restaurant. He doesn't work at the restaurant he's in. Just neat. Okay, I'm gonna carefully kill this zombie. There we go.
Stick to me. Beautiful.
Alright, let's get going.
Follow me. Keep going.
No, that was me. Oh, like, I have a flag on OBS that goes up when it just disconnects. So, like, YouTube would have gone down, too. Which, if you didn't know, I'm streaming this both on Twitch and on YouTube, thanks to Restream.io. Which is great. I thought, for the longest time, I just always assumed when people did that, they were just able to have 2 video feeds going out. But no, it's a great, great service. 10 out of 10. They do it for free. It's awesome.
Stay over there.
Oh, she broke free? Get out of the store, man. I always think of how helpless these people are, but in my defense, I never give my survivors weapons. It's this thing that when you very first start, you don't think to do it, or you give them crappy weapons. And then you have this big period where it's like, oh, you give them good weapons like guns and stuff, because they give you infinite ammo. And then I feel like it goes all the way full circle, where you just never bother giving them stuff again. Sure.
Faster. Still there? Don't fall behind.
Okay. So I'm going to save, and then we're going to go back. Gambling books. That's what I'm going to get after this. Get gambling books. Let me see when the actual one is. Big game stakes. No. Oh, it's... Okay. I think I know where I get cash. So High Rollers is not until 1 a.m. on day 3. So I actually have plenty of time. So I shouldn't be worried at all. It does bug me that he has Zombrex. I really wish if you brought him to the other mission, that he would just give it straight to the guy, instead of having to save that guy and bring him back. I guess I should also mention, I do have the DLC, I guess, as this part of being the HD. So I could be using these, and they make you not be seen by zombies. I don't think anything else does anything. I'll change this. That'd be fitting.
Nice.
Oh, cool. I still have that unlocked. That must be to an account, because they did this on a new save file, and I thought that usually reset that too. Cool. I saved, right? Tell me if I didn't save. No chainsaw yet. Okay, yes. Yeah. It does seem like Stacy should use it. I feel like at least, you know, like throw a line in there why Stacy doesn't use it. I don't know. I mean, I get it. Like, it's basically, it's there for the story and to get you to come back. I get it. I think what I really liked is if you play off the record, whereas you play as Frank, you instead have Frank that needs the Zombrex, so you don't need to go back to the safe room. You just have to, like, give yourself a shot. And it really opens up where you still need that mechanic, but it's not as big of a deal. You know? You just kind of pop it. So you can actually, when you have free time, you just go collect a Zombrex and you're just done. Okay. So I'm going to head up. I've saved. We're good. I'm going to get the first gambling magazine. Thank you. We're going to get a skateboard at Sport Trance, which I thought was over here. Yeah, there we go. We'll take that one up. Back in Dead Rising 1. Sport Trance always has, like, a stair in it because it's always 2 floors. I don't know if that's intentional or what. But, like, that was, like, I remember that being, like, a tip. Where it's like, oh, if you can't make it up the main stairway, go into Sport Trance where there's no zombies. And then you can walk up that stairway. It was like such a tiny little tidbit. There's also a thing you can use to farm for money if you're good at it. I'm not that good at it, but it's pretty solid. How many of those? I'm just like hearing things in the background. Spooky. The price remains the same after you buy them. It goes up by 25k each time. The main thing you just need to know is all the main casinos in the underground have a Zombrex spawn. And inevitably, no matter what style of game you're playing, you're going to go buy them. And that's how I usually end up getting them. Or to the tip, it's like if you're doing the case file and the fact that the underground's like right there is pretty nice. Okay. Got a skateboard. We're going to need to ditch this. Maybe this is not as fast as I remember, but still pretty good. I probably need to go over a longer distance for this to matter. There we go, gambling. That's good. I don't think anything else matters. Horror. It is kind of weird to me how they balance the magazines. Just, they're kind of all over the place. Like, you think how essential and useful things like gambling is, or like the drinking magazine. And then you see a lot of others where it's like 50% more PP. I just don't get it. Like, I think the reason in Dead Rising 2 it's so crazy is because they nerfed it. Like, the books in Dead Rising 1 were much more powerful, and I think they didn't want that again. I assume that's what was happening, at least. Because, like, one, they had, like, it's like double health on healing items for each book. And this one's like, you have a single 50% health bonus book. That's it. So, am I close? No. I'm like right in the center. Damn it. Like the closest vehicle, I think. Like I couldn't get to the motorcycle. It's not faster to run for that. And the other motorcycle's on the other end. Actually, I really want to do that no-kill run. It seems like that'd be a ton of fun, but I don't want to edit it. Industrial fashion, perfect. Get that on my way back. And the last magazine was not Shamrock. It was Silver Ship Shamrock book. Oh, I got that one. Let me consult. I just had it in my mind. I can't remember. Palisades. Stan's large print. So yeah, okay. Go grab that next, probably. I'm pretty sure I have something coming up there before then, so I probably will just let it chill. There's a lot of things in this game I really wish they had let you do as an unlock. Like, I really wish they had some achievement or unlock that did give you just like a portable workbench. Like, I'm so glad in Dead Rising 3 they took that away. You don't need to be at a location for it. You can just make the items wherever. Because I think that's one of the things that holds back so many of the awesome combo weapons. Like, for example, the paddle saw, right? Is the fact that you can't really make it anywhere. That one maybe not in particular, because you have to carry that out as a heavy weapon. But definitely others. Like, the fact that you can't just use, like, anything to combine it seems like it just hurt the game a little bit. Because even if they, like, obviously put stuff close to each other, you know, that doesn't mean it's useful. Whereas I think I'd much rather be able to say, like, okay, I got a machete, now I just need to carry this around until I get a broom, and then I got my lance. That seems like you could do so many more cool routing stuff, or even just, like, scavenging. Because it's like, yeah, I'm in the Slappy fight, so I'm running all around Palisades Plaza. And then, yeah, maybe I can combine two random things you never think to do, instead of having to find two random things. And then also take it back to this side room that's probably out of the way. I think the other reason the skateboard's not quite as good in this game, if I recall, is... God damn, yeah. It breaks after 3 hits, like Dead Rising 1. But in Dead Rising 1, you had 2 books to increase the durability, one of which was like explicitly the skateboard book, and it gave you a sick ollie, so you could jump around on a skateboard. It wasn't huge, but it meant like little lips and stuff you could get over without breaking it. I really need to learn to use... Come on. I need to learn to use a skateboard, though, because... Like, I still have trouble with time, but I feel like that would just widen my gap so much, is if I could go everywhere. I remember it being faster, but that might have just been Dead Rising 1. It seems like it should be a little bit faster to be what I want, though. So I think one of you has a... No, it's this right here. I'm pretty sure there's a gun. So give me a coffee creamer. Handgun. That'll work. But like right here, there's a chainsaw here. So it's like, it'd be nice if I had brought the paddle to use here. And yeah, I could take it over. But... Nah. I will say, I don't like the construction plazas in any of the games. Or even the construction sites in 3. And it's not because, like, it's that big of a deal. Like, I think the reason I don't like it is it's just too empty. I think that's because they want to be thematic. Like, the reason they include that, obviously, is because they want somewhere to have construction weapons. You know, because a lot of those are good weapons. Like, you want a chainsaw. You want, you know, like, the digger in Dead Rising 1. With that, where you would, like, dig into a zombie and, like, spin around. But then you end up also with a bunch of unfinished stores. And I get that makes sense, but it's not fun. Particularly Dead Rising 1's North Plaza felt really empty. But at least this has, like, a couple.
Stay close.
Did I not grab leadership? I probably need a drop.
What's going on?
I guess I didn't grab leadership, did I? That's fine. I'll probably have to drop the health book for that last one. That's perfect, perfect. Thought it was closer. Kitty will need Zombrex. I think I have enough time and nothing else coming up. I think I'm just going to take these back. Yeah, I think that would have been better to just do it isolated. Terry, you're supposed to be the good one. Come on. Saved by another zombie. Great. But yeah, it's also kind of dull, like all the colors. Like I think of Dead Rising as a very colorful game. Even in 1, it had just lots of stuff going on in like, Paradise Plaza. But then you just like walk around here and it's big, empty, open, and you're just kind of like moving. I mean, there's cool stuff, but I feel like there's a lot of things I've probably never done. I bet I've never gone up there. I bet you can, but I never have because I bet there's nothing interesting up there. There probably is.
This way.
Did I just get another call? No, just Rock Heroes. It's just telling me to look at it, I guess.
Keep going.
Another thing I wanted to comment about is that they introduced too late, by the way, is just queens. Queen zombies. Come on. How many times has this happened where it's like you're literally stun locked? Come on.
Hurry up.
Yeah, it'd be more fun to find them. I totally agree with that sentiment. I don't care for, so on the stun locking thing, I don't care for the animation lock you get when you do certain actions, like pick up a person. There's a point where the animation ends, but it's no longer taking your input yet, so you really can't do anything. You're just kind of waiting for this invisible timer between the animation ending and you regaining control. And it's just, eh. In retrospect, I bet it's better to go get the rock band first. Like, get the rock band, come back. I don't know if I got her. I really need to put, like, my stuff into notes, because, like, I appreciate having, obviously, the recording of me doing these runs, particularly the one where I actually sat down and tried. But I've been meaning to actually sit down and write it all out in notes. So if you're someone who's like, I don't know, whatever, you're like, man, I love Dead Rising 1, got all the achievements, and I want to play Dead Rising 2, but I only have 6 hours to get as much done as I can, and I need to do this first try, that they could sit down and read the notes. Or just, like, some way to articulate all the tiny little tricks and optimizations you can do in this. Because I feel like a lot of times, like, some just don't come up, or you just don't think of it, or unless you sit down and watch someone else play it who's played a lot, you don't realize it. Like, we were talking earlier about being able to, like, jump through bullets. It's something where you either notice it, like, right away, or you never do because you don't think to do that. And there's so many things like that in this game. They're just like, oh, this is good for this, but you might not realize it. I think one of my favorite interactions for that was, there's the Psycho, the Butcher you fight in Dead Rising 1. If you take the shopping cart weapon down to fight him, it has the potential to basically stun lock and kill him. Now, that is incredibly hard to do. Maybe not hard, incredibly frustrating, because if you take any hits at all, it falls and you have to restart. But if you take it down there, or basically if you take it to any boss fight, it's technically probably one of the strongest weapons in the game. It's just a pain to get it anywhere. Same with the lawnmower. Like, there's a period in Dead Rising 1. In Dead Rising 1, you have the ability to, like, take pictures with your camera. And what I would do is I would just... I'm going to save. I would just find funny objects that were, like, impractical, and I'd take them to really silly locations on the map. Like, I would take the lawnmower to, like, the helipad and just drive it around because I thought that was funny. Or I would take it back to the security room with Jesse, and I would just, like, take a picture because it's like, why is this here? But technically you can do that. Or there's a lot of things you didn't think you can get. Like, for example, there's a bike in Entrance Plaza you can take to go fight Sean, the cult leader, with. It's not at all practical, except for when you need to, like, plow through that one horde of cultists. That's actually really good there. I totally recommend doing that. It's super fun. Because you just, like, I imagine, like, they're all doing their, like, cultist thing and chanting, and you just round the corner, and you just knock them down. And that's actually a very difficult fight at first when you're not prepared, and this completely upends that. And there's no reason to fight Sean, because Sean's, like, the perfect example of a psycho who has, like, a one-weapon strategy that utterly demolishes him. It's one of the very few psychos that have it, like, a strategy that's like, this is the best strategy. It's nothing else beats it. Oh, I was gonna laugh because it was actually in the cart. Come on. I'm wasting more time than I'm saving. These carts are God damn. So I guess I can talk about that. So, things that you can push, like the cart and the lawnmower in Dead Rising 1, the way it works is if you can knock them over on their side by dropping them, like by getting hit by a zombie or falling, means you can pick it up like a heavy weapon. That's what just happened. Although what I meant to do is push the cart, because then you can get Chuck to sprint, which is incredibly valuable. So, but it's very hard to do that. I think that's the reason I have sometimes more trouble with Dead Rising 2 than 1, is just there's no good way to speed up Chuck consistently. Like, you have the skateboard, which you can get level 1 in Dead Rising 1, and that immediately gives you a huge boost. Then you have stuff like the bikes and the cars, aren't too bad. Where is this magazine? I'm sure I've seen it, but maybe, is that like a hidden effect? That's a pretty big deal. I would probably use that magazine. You're blowing my mind. I will say I know a lot about Dead Rising 2. I do not know everything. I'm just gonna preface that. Like for example, I think it's only in Off the Record, Dead Rising 2 Off the Record, you have a movie theater you can go to waste time, and it's valuable. But the catch is, it's actually in Dead Rising 2. I just never went in it. I'll call it out when I see it. Ticket box. What is that? Is that a pawn shop? There's a lot of things like I'm surprised I just like never looked at. Like for all I know, maybe that you can watch movies in Dead Rising 2. That would actually be huge. The reason that matters is it lets you mess around with the time scale. Like one of my issues with Dead Rising 1 when I go play it is, like I said, there's a point where, especially if you're just doing achievements, there's just nothing to do. Like sometimes, like when you're doing escort 8 female survivors, there's nothing to do because you don't need to take any more scoops. Okay, that was, why is that floating? Is that just a pawn shop, I assume? Yeah. I'm just looking around. I've never actually looked at this. I guess I never really noticed this is indoors. I guess. I think it's technically covered, but I consider it outside. But yeah, there's a lot of things I'll miss. So I wouldn't be surprised if, yeah, there was totally a magazine I was not aware of. Also, you can go to here. I mean, let me go ahead and do this. I think these give you 1,000 each, and then you get like 5,000 for doing all of them. It just like rumbles your controller. Sorry, I'm taking a drink there. This is something I usually do if I have extra time. It's just free PP. And I gotta kill sometime. Banned. I'm not sure what you mean, Skeletal Orc. Banned. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, like the leadership one, it's like a detail the magazine itself does not tell you. But it's probably the most important part of that magazine, by far, is the fact that it upgrades them. I should probably look at my map. I'm pretty sure I'm going the right way. Yeah. And there's nothing else. Alright, Royal Flush. This always bugged me. So this is an area in Off the Record. But they put it there like, did they know they were going to make Off the Record? Or was that an area that was cut from Dead Rising 2? Like, there's clearly a story there. You know? There's clearly a story about why they put that there. And maybe it was just the fact that they wanted this idea that it had that. It's like an amusement park. But they didn't, I don't know. Like maybe they wanted part of the later game to be there, so you go to this under construction area or something. I wish I knew.
Don't fall behind.
Okay. So I still got time. And these guys are awesome, so I'm going to attempt to grab another toy for Katie. I might have gone up the wrong one, I think. So I'll probably have to double back. Or I guess, let me check in here. They have junk sometimes.
Looking for something?
I think it's the Moe's Imaginations, though. Yeah. Moe's Imagination has toys, and I think it has a squirt gun for Katie. I think she takes a squirt gun. So it's convenient to stop in there, if I had remembered, when you go there originally to unlock the pawn shops.
This way.
So I'm trying to watch my chat while I do this. Kathy Space, this is here for a later scoop. I think if you break it, you might get cash. I know if you break it in that scoop, they'll kill you. That scoop's also the one that's really glitched. Am I crazy? No, yeah, Children. Children's Castle. I wasn't sure what you're talking about, Skeletal. I just saw a band. It's like, I don't know what you mean. I didn't know if you meant... I thought you were making a joke because of something on the screen, like peeping Tom, like, oh, I'm insulted. This is where I always get the bowl, though. It's from this location right here. And then drink that. Bag of marbles. I've also been meaning to, either on the PC version or just going through here, just look at some of the textures in the games. Because it's not that rare. For the most part, all of their... all the textures in the game are serious. But there are a few ones I know, at least in Dead Rising, that are jokes. I made a post, this is like one of the bigger posts I made on Dead Rising forum, where in North Plaza in Dead Rising 1, there's a CD and DVD store. And there, if you look at it, there's like all these really weird movie titles. There's a really good one of this guy who's just like, oh, with the title, I Married My Pants. And it's, I think, one of my favorite Easter eggs in the game.
Move it.
I think she'll be fine. At this point, the bowl is more important than she is. And honestly, like, it's surprisingly underrated to just, if you have a good NPC like these band members, I don't even think she's taking damage. Look at her health bar. Yeah. I think it's easier if I'm just going to run there, warp in, probably give the gift, warp out, maybe give Zombrex. And when I warp back, it'll respawn all the zombies and she'll be fine again. But I guess to answer your question, Skeletal, yeah. The pants thing is in Dead Rising 1. It's on one of the, it's on the top page of the Dead Rising 2, not Dead Rising, the Dead Rising subreddit that I posted on. If you just go sort by, like, our top, it should be, like, on the first or second page, I think. Along with that really dumb, I think the dumbest post I ever made on r/Dead Rising was just, like, when she tells you she covered wars or something, and I zoomed really close in to Frank's face when he jumps out of the helicopter and screams woohoo, and then I cut out the section of after you beat Kent, he has a book that increases it says increases PP by 100% or something, and I just like, oh, did I just mess that up? I hope I didn't break that. So it's just like, when she covers war, PP increases 100%. It was just like the dumbest freaking post, and of course that went straight to the top of the subreddit. Come on. There we go.
All right.
I do wish you could kind of take certain people out with you. Like, they have everyone you've saved kind of all around. Let's do this dance again, Katie. But I wish it's more relevant. Like, it's cool that you can see that those people are around. I just wish that maybe there was something more. Or like, honestly, another video I meant to make, but I never did, is it's really funny when you save every single survivor in Dead Rising 1, and then you just watch them mill around the room, because there's not nearly enough space for all of them. And if you don't know this, like, there's actually a lot of really interesting AI behavior that they made in Dead Rising 1, and that's why everyone says they're bad, but realistically, they're not bad, they're like intentionally bad, because they try to program like personalities. So I have to wait. So like, you'll see that they get scared in reaction to different things, and how they get scared and what they do is different. So like, some will crawl, some will run, some will cower. And what's interesting is they'll also do stuff like, they definitely in this game, they have a base class object. Like, this is what a entity is, and then that entity can be a zombie or a person, and then further that person can be a survivor, a critical NPC, or Frank. And so that means like behaviors that are meant to Frank can be mapped to other NPCs. So one of the things they can do is they can hold grudges. So I remember, like, I was just watching it, and it was, there's those two sisters you save in Dead Rising 1 where one's like in a pack of zombies, the other one's waiting for her to die, screaming, oh no. Well, she got in a fight with the dude who's hiding from the Hall family, where I guess they spawn on top of each other, and since he had the bigger model, she got shoved away and took damage. It was like 1 damage. But then she had a grudge, where she would follow him around the security room and repeatedly shove him down. But he's supposed to be like timid, so he would run away from her. So it was just like, I was watching this. Like, it wasn't that fast, but he would like run away, like slow jog, and she'd run up and push him down, inevitably until he like was able to hide under the stairs, and she got lost in another room. And it was this weird behavior. I was just like sitting there watching this for like my next case to start. And so I really wanted to just go and do a time lapse of all that. Just like watch that thing happen. Like, the only thing stopping me, honestly, is just the fact that I don't want to have to necessarily do a whole nother run to throw away. Like, do the whole run, get all 50 survivors, and then not finish it. You know, it's like I wouldn't want to stream it necessarily, because then you just kind of lacklusterly stop at the end. Okay, so I transitioned. So I need to get that last magazine. Let me catch up where I'm at here. So it's 7 a.m. The next one is shopping spree at 8:30. This is the one that's always weird. I didn't give her the Did I pick up the marbles? I don't know. You can give her marbles. I don't need to. It's like just 15 PP though, so. I don't think there's anything I need to do. I have 2 of the books. I can get the last one when I go to do Slappy. Here's the queen. Yeah. The survive again. You weren't here, but I was talking about how there's a lot of weird. Where did I put this? Like, Dead Rising, I feel like has all of these awesome mechanics and not enough positions to show them. So, like I said, all those survivors have those behaviors, but it's very rare that you get to see them. So, like for example. Survivors can defect, right? If you just don't kill them, but you do enough damage to them. That, for example, is a behavior you don't really see. Furthermore, like for example, if a survivor dies, and they die specifically to a zombie, then they can actually turn instead, and that same survivor becomes a zombie that looks like them. That's also something. I must have given them, right? Or did I? I didn't know. Maybe I... Oh, did I just like mash B and I gave her the marbles? I probably thought I was skipping the Zombrex scene, and instead I gave her the marbles. Let me look for that hobble horse. But yeah, like another behavior they have in Dead Rising 1 and I think in 2 is they will get mad if you point a gun at them, and they will even attack you. Usually they just like shove you away and then they're fine. There are some survivors I think that will, if you do it too long, they can defect. And it's these like super weird interactions. Like I wish I knew the actual like source code on why. Like I'm pretty sure it's something like they have a patience level and certain things drain it, but I'm really not sure on the exact reasoning. I don't think I've ever put on this hat, other than for like the one-off time I tried to go for that achievement and never got it. Let's see what else we got. I might make a Blambo. I'm mainly just wasting time until 8:30. I'm trying to think of other behaviors. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of weird stuff. Like I said, like the grudges thing you mainly see when they have it at Frank, where they'll kind of just like shove him around for a while and it's fine. But when it works on other survivors, it's weird behavior. Like it's not intentional. And it looks way more intelligent than it actually is, for sure. Like I said, it looks like, oh, she's chasing him around, like trying to get revenge. And really, it's just like this actually fairly simple reaction. Beach ball, I got the beach ball. I'm surprised you can't take your masks. Marbles, I think that's it. So I think just this, and I'll go back until 8:30. Maybe I'll tour around the security room and see what actually else is in there. I could do stuff like play the golf game over there, roll for craps for PP. I could go smash the sledgehammer game. That's here. They're all good options. I can go make more valuable stuff. I could go to a blender and make painkiller. Those are all useful. So I guess the one thing I need now is I don't have a good strategy for Slappy either. Generally, I usually just get the drinking book, and then there's a alcohol store. I think it's a wine, mainly, that's unlimited, and so you have unlimited food, and you just can deal with it. I heard there's a couple things. I think someone suggested going to the maintenance room for Slappy, and that would work. But what do you guys think? What's the best way? Oof. Hello, Yeeter Beater. By the way, if you see me talking to someone you don't see in chat, again, I stream over YouTube and Twitch, and I use Restream.io, and that's where it goes both ways. So I actually see both of those chats. So I try to call out like what that is. So I'm not just talking to someone you can't see. I'm actually talking to the Twitch chat or to the YouTube chat. So just heads up on that. I'm not crazy. I think I'm still missing... Oh yeah, I'm still missing the bear. Wake up. Says, ah, nice. Yeah, I think I'm missing the main bear. So I got some time. I got 30 minutes, I believe. Officially, that is unconfirmed when those girls spawn in. You just have to run up there. Let me explore this. Because like, I know there's probably stuff you could easily make in here if you knew exactly where the stuff was. I never memorize it. Particularly if you knew, like, okay, you can make this with nails. So go over here. Let me break this. Especially because, like, a lot of... I don't know why this is. Like, you would think what's in some bins is random, but it's actually static. I'm not going to bother breaking that. That's why I made the mention that, like, there's always vodka by the door where Chuck came in. Always. And that's very important because there's a section where that paramedic needs alcohol. And you can get it literally, like, across the hallway from him. So I've always meant to kind of come through here and try and break everything and see what's available so I can do that. Now you can be on either. It's indifferent to me. I don't monetize on either. I can chat between both, especially if I'm just talking. Supposedly I had heard a rumor that one of the this is the poker room. One of the machines in here was, and I think this is entirely unconfirmed, but it was in here because it was broken and it had higher odds. I remember like reading that on the wiki or something, and it was totally unconfirmed. But it's also like it's dumb. Like, yeah, you have higher odds there, but you can also just get 3 gambling books and go to the one in Slot Ranch, I think it is. And that one has such a high payout. It's like 10,000, and you get it pretty damn consistently. But yeah, this is what I was gonna mention. It's like there's this vacuum here, and I know you can find a saw blade. There you go. What's in here? Nothing. I know you can find a saw blade, and you can make the exsanguinator. It's not very good, but you can do it. Or like here, I know you can get the fire axe here, and then you can take it out and make your defiler every single time. That's huge. Why does the poker room need a loading screen off the record? It does, doesn't it? I feel like there was a reason. Like, doesn't it extend far, like the... I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's a really good question. I was thinking there was an extension you could get to in this, like the roof was actually part of it. But yeah, I don't know why that is the case. But now that you mentioned it, there is one. But the poker game's exactly the same, right? It's not like they expanded that for off the record. I think this is the one that was... I feel like this was the one. That's just me. Not that one. I thought it was that one on the pallets. Entirely rumors. I don't actually believe it, but just saying. Like, passing that along, all the rumors that came with this game. Like, if you weren't around for when I tamed Snowflake as my first survivor, Snowflake still is. Like, there's so many rumors around her. But I stand out. I have the best guide on Snowflake on YouTube. But it's got no views, so it never gets seen. Or it kind of does, because inevitably everyone goes and sees the other guides that are absolutely terrible and full of superstition that is not true. So, just a gripe. I will say I almost wish the Dead Rising community was a little bit bigger, because there's a lot of fun videos you can make out of Dead Rising, but there's just not the demand for it, and because of the way Dead Rising is with the whole time system, it's not always worth the time to go out and do it. So like, for example, I made a point way back when I was talking about Snowflake, where it'd be fun to make a video where I just take Snowflake around and kill as many bosses with her as possible. That seems like that'd be a fun video. The catch is you can never go to the safe room because she always transitions no matter where you are, so she would be saved if you went to the safe room. So that limits some things. You can't get her to solve it. But also, there's some fights that I would like to see, like the magician fight, but I really don't want to have to just like sit around waiting for the game to progress. Like, that's kind of annoying. Just to, like, okay, now it's finally time for me to film this probably minute-long video. But on the other hand, it seems like a cool one. Yeah, it's the same as far as I know. I don't know why that is. That's a great question. I feel like it must be some change to the security room. Okay, they should be here. So it's probably not 8:30, it's probably 9, so I need to transition out. Oh, I'm gonna get a suit, actually. Usually I play with this, either the Wilmette jacket I'm fond of, or I really like the tux. I feel like that's natural. I don't like the hat, but at this point I don't know what else I can get. I don't think they have anything in this store. Out of all the things... Black dress shoes. I go tuxedo in Dead Rising. I think it's tuxedo, or black suit. With Servbot helmet. That's my go-to. Very specific. I always use that. In this one, I usually go like this with maybe sunglasses, because maybe it's just me, but the Servbot head's way too big. Yeah, see your beater. I'm hoping I'm going to do more Dead Rising, because it had really good turnout. And I enjoy doing this. I just, it's hard to expand. Like, I enjoy streaming, but it's hard to play games I like and games that stream well. You know. They don't have a good cross-section. And I also think I just need to find a good time to do it. Like I said this earlier, like there's a lot of things I want to use my time on. And as much as I do like streaming, like I can talk like all night. Like in theory, I should be going for another couple hours. But I also think like, man, I could be learning this or that. Like for example, I said this before, I'm learning Ruby on Rails to make a site. And that's just like pure, I just need to throw time at it. That's all that is. So I think, like, as much as I don't mind, you know, like, doing another run through Dead Rising again, I always think, like, well, I could have, you know, stopped earlier and put another time. The donkey. I need the donkey. Okay. So if they're not there, I'm going to go take the donkey. Okay. I don't remember why exactly they're so glitchy. Or I don't know if it's glitchy or if it's just, like, always been misreported. But they are. So back to some other crazy behavior. So they want you to carry their packages. But if you break their packages, they all auto-defect. And I think that's intentionally meant to be if you like let it get broken by zombies, but that's really rare. So you really only have that happen if you break it yourself. I've never tried, though. But I think also technically they follow the package, not Chuck. Like, they won't move without it. But if you throw it, I think they will move to it. It's like a... What do you think? No confirmation on that at the moment, because I don't want to throw it. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm always in the middle of something, so I'm never going to stop and confirm that. But I think that's true. Also, I always loved... Come on. Yeah, they have all these, like, random like, little presents here, right? But then they also have, I think it's muffins. And I just thought, or cereal or something. I always thought that was really funny. Yeah, muffin. Everyday muffin.
Don't fall behind.
I don't know, like, it just seemed weird, like, they picked a bunch of generic packages and then one very specific thing. Yeah, I don't know, it seemed very real that they'd be like, we need to go out and get all these clothes, and then we're going to splurge and we're going to get some muffins. Like, it's something you would totally do, you know, it's like, get your one splurge food. Even though you're probably spending so much money, you're also going to buy these, like, this $4 tin of muffins. I've always been surprised, in a way, that Dead Rising had specific characters for the protagonists. Like, for Chuck, it makes sense, I guess, and Frank, you can kind of see it. But it does seem like Dead Rising would have been the kind of game to have a character generator. And then, because they basically, I assume, have that for these characters, like the survivors. So it seems surprising that they don't have that for the player. Because really, there's nothing that unique about Frank that you couldn't just apply to someone else. Like, or I guess it would make sense to apply the Chuck, and like the having a daughter thing, I think is the main thing that would make the biggest deal, but even then. So I have until 12 p.m. to do absolutely nothing. So I'm going to go get the next book. I need some water. Trying to think. Am I forgetting anything else? I need cash, but I believe I have some... I think it's Big Game Stakes gives me cash. So that's not that bad. Boomtown's coming up, so I guess that's the real thing I need. So that she's gonna call me back, like, immediately. So I'm gonna go get that donkey. That's probably the best thing, I think, yeah, is the donkey. I do like the fact that the presents are a thing, because it gives a lot of meaning to, like, oh, I only have 30 minutes, so let me go out and do something useful. Whereas, like I said before, in Dead Rising 1, you don't have that exactly. The closest thing you have is you could run around and do collectible PP stickers. But those are a pain to have to sit and memorize. And it's only 1,000 PP each. And that's not that much. Like, you'd almost be better off just taking legitimate photos, because you could easily get, like, 1,200 PP photos without too much trouble. I think it's just, like, it works out. Like, it's fun, all the little things. It's fun to memorize. It's not something you critically need. You know, you don't need to know all the gifts. But if you're doing a lot of level 1 stuff, it equates to, what, 15,000 PP per gift? Something like 8 gifts? Especially with stuff like level 1, the fact that Snowflake is also a gift, which is also, like... I always thought that was kind of a giant middle finger. Where, just make the achievement be get Snowflake. Because ultimately, that's the real achievement. Like, it's if you had to sit down and get the achievement and not worry about anything else, the only one that's hard is Snowflake. Everything else is like, just look up, okay, where's the donkey? Oh, it's here. Okay, I'm gonna go get it. Okay, where's the bear? Okay, I'm gonna go get it. That's it. And then they have the one where you have to go tame a tiger. It's always bugged me when achievements do stuff like that, like hide the actual difficulty. The pinnacle of that was Assassin's Creed 2. Brotherhood, I think. She's just calling me about Boomtown. I would drop it if I call it. It's something stupid where it's like, Assassin's Creed is like known for collectibles. I want to say it must have been 2 or Brotherhood. Yeah, because you're still in Italy. Where everyone was afraid, like, oh, there's going to be all these collectible achievements, and then guess what? There's only achievements for collecting, like, 50 out of 100 feathers. So, you know, it's not that big of a deal. But then there was this one achievement that was like, wear your family cape in every city in the game. And then it didn't realize that, like, oh, you need all feathers. You said there's a donkey at Casual Gals. I didn't see one. Is it in... Am I crazy? I see no donkey. Is it behind something? Because this is just a change. I can't go in there. I checked styling toddler. I'm not sure what you mean. Am I just missing it? I might totally just be missing it. Look up. I hope my fucking round I didn't just lose. It hasn't happened yet so far, but if you take too much damage on these stuffed animals, you can't use them. Just walking. I think it's interesting, though, how the gift system really was an achievement that was meant to be just a collectible achievement, and then also Snowflake, and then how much this has mattered for doing runs like this. I think you might be thinking of not Casual Gals, but there's the Styling Toddlers right outside there, and that has the elephant. Yeah, and there's another toy store on the other end. Like, there's, I think, basically every single one there. I don't know where the bear is, but I think there's a bear somewhere in Royal Flush. So this is going to do cutscene? Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is where I get the money. I like how Snowflake's just chilling in there. Like, as if that's safe. Oh, I got the bear. I assume I already have the achievement because I've done this all the time. I think the only thing that's left is like a squirt gun or something, right? So I need the defiler, and that's probably it. Crystal. There's a chainsaw that spawns at one point. I think it's after the next day. That's why I keep looking. That's all. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other uses for some weapons. Like, I wonder, I just had the thought, like, maybe the paddle saw is really good in overtime mode with the gas zombies. I don't think so, because you're better off getting the BFG, right? Or just the sonic one in general, like that sonic gun. This is going to be annoying. I should have saved. Should have saved. No worries. It's like I get them confused. Remember, I confused the donkey and the rabbit. Hold on, I'm going to make a detour here. If you're wondering why I'm not picking that up, again, if you didn't know, you don't actually need cards to make combo weapons. It just gives you more PP when you do it. Oh, that's where I got the bear. Not hang on. If you don't have it, you could just get what's called a red scratch card, which just tells you you can make it, but that you don't actually have it. I thought... Here, let's go... not Fedora. Not the hat I thought this was. The main thing I usually get is just I have is normal hair and then sunglasses. I think it's important to accessorize. Oh, here's what the sunglasses are. I actually have a pair of yellow sunglasses over here. One of the things I meant to do, yeah, exactly like this, is I would love to get, like, actually, not his jacket, because I feel like that'd be too involved, but it'd be kind of neat to, like, recreate an outfit that Chuck can wear, and then just, like, put it on when Chuck puts it on. I just feel like that'd be a fun thing to do in a stream. Or same with Frank. Just, like, a silly little thing to do. Plus, it gives reason. Because the clothes are one of those things where it's like, it's entirely unimportant. I think the only clothes in any of the games that do anything, well, the DLC, I guess, clothes, is the Knight clothes in Dead Rising 2, and then the Ninja clothes in Dead Rising 2. I think that's it. I don't think any other clothes matter. Which, I like being able to do whatever, but I really wish there was some idea where it's like you could take a hazmat suit and maybe get some benefits and some disadvantages or something. Or wear warm clothing or cold clothing. It just seems like that'd be a nice little depth where you could do that. I don't know what it would be, but it'd be nice instead of it being just like a raw upgrade. I've never used or unlocked the entire Knight set. I might have unlocked the Knight set, but I didn't think I used it officially. It's one of those things where it's like by the time you get it, there's really no reason to keep playing it. And if you do have reason to keep playing it, it's usually not something you need the armor for. It's currently 11 p.m. here in Omaha, Nebraska. Usually I'd be further along in the game, but I had that call. That took up a lot of time. Not to mention these loading screens. Like, I always loved the idea of doing a Dead Rising speedrun if you could somehow get off of the camera. Not the camera, the timer, the clock. Because you could still do a Dead Rising speedrun, right? But the main issue with those is that you just have to exploit loading screens. So it'd be a lot of waiting around for minimal transitions. That sucks. Or it's just like basically everyone's time's the same until like the last, 10 minutes of the game? But on the other hand, Dead Rising is such a perfect game to have to like talk about routes. Like, what's the optimal weapon to use in this fight that's fast? What's the optimal like traversal strategy? I wish I saved because I feel like this loading screen probably is just not happening right now. I think that's actually what's going on here. Let's wait and see. I'll give it 2 minutes. I don't want to like leave though, because I feel like if I leave, it's going to load in and I'm going to die. Which is not good. When did I save? I've never seen it crash on a loading screen. But I guess I haven't played the HD remaster too much. I don't think there's any major issues between... Not issues, I should say. Differences between the HD. I know like there's some small stuff like Dead Rising 1 where it's a little bit not frame ratey, but like hit stun is a little bit too much. I'm actually surprised they didn't add anything, by the way, in the HD remasters. Come on. One more minute. I really wish games like built this and like I'm so curious like what went wrong in this and why can't it just reinitiate? Oh, it's gonna kill me. Sorry. We're gonna go back. And now it's gonna be a question of like which gifts did I get her because I probably didn't save. I need a reminder in chat every time I go back to the safe house. Save. But I have to go. I don't know if I even saved after I got the chicks in the clothing store, but it's not marked, so I'll have to go check that. I guess I can check the time, right? Yeah, I definitely didn't. It's 7 a.m. Come on. Yeah. I think there's also, to be fair, I'm also playing this in one sitting, and I feel like that hurts it more. And I don't save that much because I'm not trash at this game, you know. Oh, well, I'm here. I totally did get for the marbles. There they are. So I got that. So let's still wing this. Let me think. Do you guys have any other suggestions you want to see in this run? Because I have a hunch that this run, if I keep getting crashes like this, it's going to push the run too far back. Like, if we're not even on day 2, and it's already 11 for me. Zombrex sign. Ah, I see. So I'm trying to think if there'd be any other fun ways to, like, change this run up. Like, I really don't want to have to wait until it's, like, 12:30 at night and then start that long poker game. So I'm trying to think if there's any other fun little interactions I can go look for. Or try out. Yep, queens. I guess I forgot I got the queens. Like, what'd be a fun... Let me think. What combo cards do I have that I could go mess around with here? Flaming guns, not that good. Knife gloves, fire. Be curious. Let me try this. Do they have the traffic cones in here? Let me know if you have any good ideas. Let's see. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to make one of those, I don't know what it's called, cone blaster things. And take that in to fight some human enemies and see how that works. That might be interesting. Because that's what I usually go and look out for, is just like interesting interactions that might help me down the line. Because sometimes it's so simple, you know, you just never think to do it, though. Like, for example, I was surprised in Dead Rising 1, the stun gun, like the little zappy, like, and you hurt? That is surprisingly good against human psychopaths. And when you think about it, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Let's see. I don't even remember all these combinations anyway. Like, I know there's one with a helicopter and I think machete. And there's this with fire. I wish there was more stuff to do in some stores. Like, it always kind of bugged me that, like, this store basically has no use whatsoever, I believe. Like, even the game devs just kind of fill with random junk. You know, it's got no real uniques to it. Danny. Sure. I guess that's probably what's unique here. There. Cannot read those. Howdy. Hey, Stipo. So let me see if I can actually go find a cone. I guess I think I'm just going to head straight out and do Boomtown. Because I assume if anywhere, it's going to be outside. I like messing up the hair, honestly. It's fun. Because I feel like so many of the hats just don't work. And in a weird way, I feel like the blue hair helps the gameplay. Like, it has an advantage in that it makes Chuck easier to pick out from many of these, like, drab environments. Like, you know? Gray hair. Is there gray hair in this game? I know it's like a random assortment. Like, I remember it wasn't until that I did, where are you telling me to go? Oh, that's right, it hasn't started yet. Let's go kill some time. It wasn't until I actually looked through the list of all the clothes in Dead Rising 1 that I realized you could get, like, red hair. Like, I know you could do bald, you could do black and brown, and then there's red. It's just, like, in some random shop somewhere. It seems weird that they would have red hair and not just every hair, like, hair color. We're going off the rails here. Let's see what I can do. Let's do this. I've been playing. I played a ton of Bayonetta just on the channel, why not? And for my own. And I got a lot better at button mashing, so I want to see, is this just B? Or is it A? You just can't? I can do it! I never got close before. I bet if I went in with A, I could probably do it all the way. But like there, that's for an example, like you could farm cash there. I don't think that's as fast, obviously, as... Or it's probably faster than doing the slot ranch, like poker wall. I bet it's faster. But you don't want to do that for hours, where you can just like hit B. Video poker. I was really surprised that they had Terror's Reality, but not an actual like poker game. Like I thought that would have been an easy in, is just let you play poker in co-op. Because really, it's probably not that hard to implement. You did all the trouble. There's no reason not to let the player actually do it. I went back here. Here, let me think. What would be a good, fun interaction here? What can I do? Is there any good vehicle transition areas? I don't think there's any in Dead Rising. Is there? Are there any indoor vehicles? I don't think there is. There won't be in here. No. No. Because like in Dead Rising 2, Dead Rising 1, you have like the bike and stuff, and you can like, or the motorcycle, and you can actually take that in surprisingly random amount of places. Actually, I want to go. I want to go to the movie theater while I waste time. I made the point earlier, it's like I never go to that. Like, it wasn't until I played Off the Record that I even realized it was there. Because there's a lot... It always bugged me that there was so many areas in these games that have literally no use other than, I guess, for environment. Or, like, maybe to have, like, a slightly different set of weapons. And I always wish that, hopefully... I don't know, I just... It seemed perfect, like, if they could just do, like, a DLC for Dead Rising. Or a mod or something where you could just fill those in with, like, a bunch of random, like, player-made survivors. Oh yeah, it's behind, I forget the name, the Hawaiian restaurant, right? That was always, that's one of the things I always would take to fight. Do I want to go into the arena? Why can I not find this? It's over here, isn't it? I would take that to fight Leon, the dude on the motorcycle. Because it's way back there, you can go grab some food. It's a very good area. Take some cash. If you have food, and also just the fact that like if you're fairly decent at the game, you usually have a high level, or it's you're on your like second playthrough anyway, so it's not a big deal. Let's see, so Fortune with Love. Where is this? Days. Cash Gordon's. Emergency shelter. Where was it? Here it is. I also, I never look up. I know how to get up there. Have I been up there? Oh, yeah. Paddle saw, definitely not ideal. Also, you never see, that's actually where you go down to the emergency shelter. I don't think there's anything there. I remember way back in Dead Rising 1, the very first time I played it, I tried to go... I'll take that light machine gun. I tried to go back into the security room from the wrong entrance. Like the one you take basically in the beginning of the game. So dumb. And I spent like 20 minutes fighting my way through this horde of zombies to get there. And then it's like, oh, it's welded shut. It's like, that makes sense. That's right. But I didn't know how to work the map then, so I didn't understand. I just saw that they connected. Did that force me down? Yeah, see, I missed this forever. You can find the Psychomag there. On top of the rooftop? Or here. Guess we'll find out. Interesting that all the same movies are showing from when Frank West was there. On the cinema roof. Let me try and get up there next. And maybe that's why I never found it. Laser Knight. He came from the past to protect the future from the present. That's a great quote. I feel like I've seen that quote before, and I probably didn't realize it was in this situation. So there are movies. Can you waste time? See, I know it's a thing. You have to. This is like such a weird interaction that I was not aware of. It's like they have showtimes listed, and you can come and watch them. And I thought this was only on authorized, so 9. I assume that's 9 p.m. So the earliest one is at 1. I'm gonna come back at 1 o'clock. Remind me. Yeah, that's where you get it. I think there's a couple places. It's kind of weird, if I recall, about some of the combo cards that you get from posters, where it's like some posters count and some don't. Or I think they become active at a certain point, and I don't know why. Like, if you were here really early on in the stream, I made a comment, it's like, it's the one where it's the giant dude in a teddy bear costume with a machine gun. But at that point, I couldn't inspect it. I guess it's probably you can't inspect it until you have maintenance keys. And you can open it up. That's probably what that is. Oh no, I was like, oh, there it is. It's just a magazine I dropped, damn it. I want to do that. I want to watch a movie. I gotta come back. 1 o'clock. Oh, I see. Did I hit my head on that when I jumped? That must have been it. Okay, okay. Yeah, I have never been up here. Psychos. 25% boost from defeating psychos. Huh, what do you think? I've never, it's like, that's an interesting idea. Psychos do give a lot. I wonder if that would be worth it. It's one of the things I like. Not this one? I always have a debate about, like, what's worth it in this game. Why do they all have this? Jesco Flamenco. Classico Flamenco. Sorry, I have another tangent. I always wish that they would use some of the environment stuff to hint at bigger world elements or story elements in these games. Like, for example, to my knowledge, and this may happen, but I don't think it does, there are no survivors that are directly related to the people in Willamette that aren't very explicitly called out. Like, I think it's just the one blue motorcyclist. And it just seems like if you're going to go to the trouble of having all these survivors' names and ages, it would have been perfect to say, it's never mentioned, but this survivor in Dead Rising 1 is the brother of this other dude in Dead Rising 2. There's a lot of places I didn't know about getting up there. I made a comment somewhere else, like I was like, oh, I'm going to come back and get up there. Because, yeah, I never think to either. Like, can you get up on that Zombrex sign? I feel like you probably can if you can get up there. There's a lot of places I've never tried because there's no reason to. I remember here, like, I didn't do the scoop that is here for some reason until I did, like, the whole do everyone. And so I wasn't aware that this door was back here. And it's this whole thing. I guess probably when I did the Zombrex, maybe. It was just like, yeah. I'll be honest, there's a lot of stuff about Dead Rising 2 I didn't know because it's, I'd say, fairly big compared to Dead Rising 1. But there's not as much reason to necessarily run around everywhere. Machete?
Perfect.
All right. So I guess I'm just gonna keep killing time. Well, it's 10 a.m., so I can probably keep going back. I don't know. What do you think? I'm tempted because I don't want to be up that long, and with those crashes that keep setting me back, I want to say if we have 2 days, that puts, in theory, end of the stream around like 3 a.m. So I don't know if I'm going to keep up with the current trend. Let me see. I think I dropped the gambling book, so I have to go back and get it because I really don't want to do poker. I think I might just go mess around in this for a while until it's won because I really want to see the movie theater. It's something like I've just never seen. So I'm trying to think what would be worth. What's some other places I've never actually explored that would be kind of neat to go around? Let's see. I don't think anything in Royal Flush, but I'll take a look. I'm pretty sure I made a point to go around everything in Royal Flush and just see. But I bet there's probably something. I bet there's something in Palisades I never saw. Like I never go in the gym. I have, but I never go that often. Like, let me hit up at the pawn shop and see how much is that car. Because that's something I've been wondering for a while. I know it's possible to get. I think it's something like 800,000 or something. It might be 1 million. But I run by all those bargaining. 500K? Really? Is it that cheap? Let's go look. I believe you. Did I get lost? I always forget which side it's on. There it is, yeah. Let's investigate because I always run by those bargaining magazines. So if you could get that. Wait, yeah, 500K, that's not that bad. Because you'll get that from the poker game easily, but that's not for a while. So it makes me wonder, like, could I rush, like, 3 gambling magazines early and, like, try to really make a point about farming cash where I can? Like, little stuff like, you could probably easily find a good ATM, like, farming location. Especially if you use the hacking tool, which like gives you 10K per ATM. Make a bunch of those, farm that in like a little bit of downtime. Where's Antoine? Remember me? That's not even Antoine. I guess that's him when he's younger. Disappointing.
What's the word?
Law, why the man handbag? Oh, is there a zombie? I actually wish that it was random what they're holding. Like, you get randomized elements, but it'd be kind of fun to just see them holding random stuff. Like, I was talking way back when about how more zombie types, I think, would go a long way. Particularly ones that hold items or clothing and just like ones you'd want to kind of look out for. Yes, this is what I usually wear with the tux. Like, I think the one I always thought would have been a great addition is just like 1 in 1,000 chance, dude spawns, and it's just a pizza delivery guy. So he has a pizza. And basically that pizza, that's good food. So if you saw him at a very, like in the middle of a boss fight, he would save you. What is up, Yadira? Like, so, like, just imagine, like, okay, you never see him, but when you do see him, he sticks out because he's got this giant pizza he's, like, holding up above the zombies. Go kill him, go take his pizza. I would love that. Or just, like, little things, like, have zombies, like, intermix. Like, have a construction zombie be over here, randomly. Is there anything here that's good? Nah. I think that would go a long way. Oh, what's up, Handbag? I actually, thanks for calling out. That means a lot, because when I originally made that, I don't know if you watched all of it, because I think most people skip around, because I changed formats. Like, originally, I think I streamed one of them, I believe, and another one's, like, done post, but I don't really edit it. And I think, because I didn't know if it was going to work. When I started doing it, I thought for sure it wasn't going to be possible. And for a while, I didn't think it was, because I thought for the longest time that for Dead Rising 1, I was going to have, instead of a 0-kill one, it was going to be a 1-kill zombie run. Because you have to kill the zombie that attacks Isabella. And if you watch it, I have that workaround where I get a survivor to kill it, so my counter's 0. And that works. But, yeah, until there was that point, I didn't really put much effort into it. But thanks for watching it. I want to do one for Dead Rising 2, which is kind of what I'm feeling this out for. Like, my big concern in Dead Rising 2 was when you're chasing the train, right? I thought for sure it was going to be extremely difficult to get that without killing a zombie. But now that I think about it, I don't think it's that bad. So I would still like to do maybe another full run. Like, I might save. I think I'll keep doing the story. And what I'll probably do is I'll save. I don't know when I'll hop off the stream. Probably like 1 a.m. I just think I'm at my target goal. I can sleep in tomorrow, assuming I don't get another call tonight. Hello. And then I think I might continue it, not going after survivors, but just doing the story. And trying to see if there are any parts that make you kill a zombie. I remember overtime was kind of hard. Yeah. Yeah, same. I remember doing that as well. I would go to Paradise Plaza. Because every time you drink a nectar, I think if you don't have it, you can't already have the effect on it. Like, there's some timer. You have to transition. So you'd have, like, all these nectars, and, like, every 2 minutes after running around, you drink a nectar that summons a queen, and then you could get the queen. Yeah. That was a surprisingly fun way to play the game, and I would totally recommend that to anyone who's a fan of Dead Rising. Also, I got dodge roll. I should look at my own abilities. Only they get dodge roll too. Look how action. Trick here is to have the light machine gun that destroys it. Pretty damn good. I want to say this one's also good, and there's something you build with the drill motor that is great at destroying drills. I don't know why I remember that, but mainly it's like guns.
Hello?
So here, I'm going to drop these books. I don't plan on doing the poker, so I'm going to drop all the poker books. I'm going to keep the drinking book because it's so good. I'll keep the second. I'd like to see how that... Let me know if you do, because that's what I'm trying.
Hey, what were you calling?
I definitely want to. I think it's possible. I think it's more possible than 1. I just think it might be more annoying. So, and actually, I don't know if this is it for you, but when I started out doing the no-kill zombie run, the big thing was you couldn't let a zombie grab you. Because if they grab you, then you shove them off and they usually die. So, that was an issue. It made it so you kind of, in a way, only had 1 health. Because if a zombie grabbed you, you had to reset. But then and you had Untouchable. That was the one gimmick, is if you had Untouchable, they wouldn't grab you, they just swat at you, which is fine. And that works. But then I had limited supplies of Untouchable, because you need pies, and there's only three pies in Paradise Plaza. And like, okay, that was fun, so it's like I had to like pace it. And then I didn't realize that there was a case you could break for more pies in Dead Rising 1 in Paradise Plaza. And once I could have 8 untouchable juices, because I didn't need any weapons, because I'm not killing anything other than the psychos, it was like, oh, now it's actually pretty easy. And I just kind of finished the run. And I felt it was almost like less fun because of that. Because I had unlimited untouchables. It kind of broke the mode. Whereas like with Dead Rising 2, I don't think you have an untouchable. I don't think you have any way to deal with that. Maybe if you did something like carry around a heavy weapon. I don't know if they can grapple you with that. I think they just force you to drop it. So, but yeah. I guess I don't know what I'm hoping for Dead Rising 5. I actually did not mind Dead Rising 4. I felt Dead Rising 4 had actually a pretty good sandbox. It just didn't do everything very well. So like combo weapons they lasted way too long and did way too much damage. I don't mind having an overall timer, but I wish there was timed segments. I think that might be a better section. Or like have a large overall timer. But it's not that bad. I don't know, it's kind of, I lean both ways on that. I'll do it if you want, yeah. I just think, yeah, we need to figure out. I assume it's, have you actually looked in? Is it possible? Is there, oh, I have a magazine. Is there anything in Dead Rising 2 that would, like, preclude you from doing that run? Because I don't think there's anything like Isabel, I don't think. I think it's more likely that you'll get in a position with Dead Rising 2 where it's just impractical. Like, it's entirely feasible, you can do it, but it's just you have to, like, get through a horde of zombies by just pushing them around with no weapons. And, like, that's the thing that's going to hold you back, is it's just you bashing your head in until you get the right one. Banks. Oh, that's not important. I have a bad record of not actually getting all the achievements in this game. I've never got the Zombie Genocider because I don't think there's any good unlocks for it. It's not like the Mega Buster, right? Where are you at? He's like hiding over there somewhere. I actually tried, like, one of the things I kind of wanted to do was actually, oh, it's the drill. The drill is really good against, the drill is surprisingly good against the drill. But I actually attempted a no-kill Dead Rising 4 run, and it is possible. There's just like one kind of big catch, and that's the opening section. Like, that's the only section, I guess there's two catches. I don't actually know if it is possible. Because there's two issues. One, the opening section is incredibly hard. Not like that you would die, but you have to kill zombies to progress. And you can technically kill zombies without adding to the counter in Dead Rising 4 if you kill them with, like, incidental damage. So you can't hit them, but you can do this weird thing where you can, like, brush into them repeatedly and they take, like, 1 damage and they have, like, 50 health. And that works. And it's possible. Also, zombies can kill each other. So you could make it work, but I remember the other big issue is it's not a zombie kill count in Dead Rising 4, it's just a kill count. So soldiers count against your kill count. Which, okay, that might be okay, but I think a boss might count towards your kill count too, in which case, then yeah, it's impossible. You have to beat bosses to beat the game. But, Dead Rising 4 is actually, there's a lot of fun to it. The issue is the game's not that difficult. So, like, I did I think I did Fists Only Black Friday mode. That was neat. And there was a lot of, like, tension, or just, like, yeah. Hello, Jay Clark. But, yeah, like, I think there's a lot of fun depth in Dead Rising 4. It's just, there's no reason to do it. You know, it's like I said, if you play just base vanilla Dead Rising 4, just use the Ice Sword for everything. It's like, it's amazing. It's not the best weapon in the game. The best weapon in Dead Rising 4 is by far the Suckmaster 3000, which I don't know why it's so many miles ahead of it, of everything else. It's like they literally have basically a stationary grenade that just stands still for 10 seconds. And if a handgun bullet's like 1 damage, Suckmaster 3000 does something like 1,000 damage. It's unprecedented. It just wipes bosses in seconds. Like, I remember going and doing multiplayer and just soloing these bosses, and people would just, like, stop, like, what the hell did you just do? And not only that, does it solo bosses. In multiplayer, there's 2 of them in the boss arena. It's like they know. It's like one of the only videos I made on Dead Rising 4, and me just showing off it, wiping bosses. Like, this is where it, like, absolutely destroys this boss, it destroys this boss, destroys all the zombies, destroys all the humans. The only one it can't instantly kill is Calder, where instead it's the only weapon that has any sort of respectable damage against Calder besides the exosuit. Just a minute. Cool. Some crazy rush hit which does not kill zombies, is that a glitch? In Dead Rising 4, you mean? Or in terms of whether or not it validates the run, I feel like that's a good question. Like, that's, I guess, up to whoever runs it. I don't think it's a glitch. I think that's been present in every Dead Rising. These kind of weird damage types that don't count, where you like rush off. Like, for example, it'd be like in Dead Rising 1. Whenever you had the chainsaw active, it had like actual active damage frames on it. So you could do this thing where you don't have to swing, you just kind of walk into a zombie, and each like tick only did like 1 damage, again, like out of 50 or something. But it would add up and slowly would kill something.
Hey there.
But I think also as part of that, that damage didn't like count. I want to say it doesn't count against survivors
Yeah.
defecting. It was like this. There's a lot of really weird interactions I could go talk about Dead Rising. It just never comes up. You know, that's what annoys me. Is like, if I was doing like speed runs of Dead Rising, or if there are super hard modes for Dead Rising that are really randomized, you know, those are all stuff where this would matter. But if you're just playing normal Dead Rising, really, there's little point. Which is honestly one of my gripes. Like, I really wish in Dead Rising 4 for one of the DLCs they would just add like a leaderboard for like who can beat this the fastest. I would love that. Or in like a Dead Rising 1 or 2. What is that sound? Oh my god. They would just add like, I don't know, some kind of score mechanic where like what's the most you can get done in one run? Like what's the most PP you can get? I think that actually might be a leaderboard, but I think that's account wide. So it counts between runs, so it's invalid instantly. Come on. I don't know. The other one I'd really like to do is I'd like to... There's 2 things. One is I'd like to do another stream for 7 Day Survivor. I never got it on the HD collection, but I got it on the original, and that just seems like a ton of fun. Like, that seems like, hey, I'm going to be hanging out anyway. Might as well stream it. Why not? I have all the unlocks in 1, I think. I have all the achievements. I think that means you have all the unlocks. In Dead Rising 1, I don't think there's any unlocks that are separate, right? There's the DLC, I guess. Which I didn't know was a thing until years later. There is DLC for Dead Rising 1. It's just clothes. But for some reason, I guess they decided to add that. Who's shooting me from over there? Aren't they like a ways away? But the other one is, what I really want to do, and maybe we can... I need ideas for this, is I want to do a big Dead Rising stream over the week of September 23rd to 27th, whatever all the Dead Risings seem to always take place on. Like, it's always a very consistent day. What is it? See, here. September 26th. I think it's the 25th, 3rd-ish. I always get confused on where the event, I guess, starts versus where the game itself takes place. And I just want to sit down. I'm going to play... Let's play every possible Dead Rising game I can find in order, back to back. Like, I'll take some PTO, so maybe we can even fit in like a 7 Day Survivor. That'd be pretty fun. But I'm just talking literally like, I have Dead Rising 1. I have Chop to Drop, which I will stand up and say, like, Dead Rising Chop to Drop is not a bad game. I enjoyed my time with it. It is a pretty bad Dead Rising game, but overall for just a game, or rather, it's a Resident Evil 4 port clone. It's pretty damn good. I had a lot of fun once you get pretty far in that game. But just like play that, play Case Zero, play Dead Rising 2, Case West, go through Off the Record. It just seems like that'd be a blast. And then just go through and have like fun stuff, because you're gonna have downtime. Because I'll try to do stuff like what I was originally setting out to do with this stream, get everything. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. And then just try to get all the content you can. And in between, just do some fun little side gigs. Like, I thought it'd be really fun to do things like, okay, we have some downtime during, like, if we do, can you stop? 7 Day Survivor, you have so much downtime, because, like, there's sections where it's like, I don't need to hit a button until 20 minutes from now. But, like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna make the juices from Dead Rising 1 and 2. And let's try, like, a couple different things. Like, let's make, like, the real juice and, like, a good juice. Like, let's say, like a real juice would be like, let's actually, like, I don't know, pick 2 things that actually make that juice, blend them, and try it. So some of those, it's like, yeah, probably cabbage, probably not very good, but it's edible. I would keep it realistic, because obviously you could also blend, like, burnt pizza and vegetable oil. That's a drink you can have that makes randomizer in Dead Rising 1. And guess what? It also works just like it does in the game, where it makes you throw up randomly. So not that, but then do that, because some of them would be good. Like, Quick Steps, basically, it's what, yogurt and ice cream? I think I'm okay with that. But then also make one that is just a good drink. Like, here's all the ones in the game, and here's other ones that's just like, this is like grenadine and, I don't know, it doesn't even have to be alcohol, but like grenadine and cherry syrup and, like, I don't know, Coke or something. And basically like a Shirley Temple or something. And that's the Untouchable, the red one in Dead Rising. Or the blue one in Dead Rising 2 is Painkiller, I think. It just seems like it'd be super fun. Or do like trivia, stuff like that. But yeah, I would, if you're a Dead Rising fan and you have a Wii, or you want to emulate, Dead Rising Chop to You Drop is a unique experience. And there's actually things in Dead Rising Chop to You Drop I think should have been brought into the main series.
11 o'clock in the bar at the Yucatan.
It's a date.
Like, one of the very interesting things about Dead Rising Chop to You Drop that no one mentions is... yeah, thanks. Cool to see you around, Hand. If you want to do something, just, like, let me know. I think I have my Twitter handle below here if you just want to tweet me or send me a message on the channel. I'm willing. But in Chop to You Drop, they have this, like, unmentioned thing. It's like they're called different things. It's like additional cases and extra tasks and activities, or Second Amendment or something, I believe. Next case doesn't start right. So times kill. I want to do Wilted Flower, but I'm gonna probably have to fight Slappy, won't I? But after you beat the game with the S ending or whatever, you unlock essentially extra missions. And they're not canon, obviously, because Dead Rising Chop to You Drop's not canon. Like, Cletus lives in Dead Rising Chop to You Drop. He runs a shop and you can buy guns from him. Completely different. But it's these fun little games where it will just be like... there was one that I spent hours doing because it was just so hard. Where it's like Frank's supposed to be, I guess, like a guerrilla ops construction worker, and he's fighting the, like the SWAT team or whatever that Brock comes in. You too, man. And it's just you're running around, you have to like try and snipe them with saw blades, or like hit those little drones with that, or like throw a hammer. Or there's another one where Frank's just like really tiny and there's a giant zombie and you have to fight it. Or another one where they, that small little parking lot that you take in Dead Rising 1 into the underground, where the convertible and the motorcycle are, you're locked in there with 6 Adam the Clown clones. And you have like just minimal weapons, or I think even just your fists. And it's like, this is insane. This is fun. Or you do skeet shooting with Cletus, and he throws things in the air like zombies and furniture, and you gotta snipe them. Awesome. But then you also have a bunch of things, like what Skeletal was talking about is, because they can't render a lot in that game, and also, do I have a drink? I need to find some vodka. They can't render a lot, and in fact, that's actually based off a Resident Evil 4 port that they also made for the Wii. You, instead of having lots of zombies, because you can only have like 7 zombies on screen at any given point, you instead have like bosses. You have mini bosses. Like, so you don't actually fight Joe in the game, I don't think. I'm pretty sure you don't. Instead, you fight, I don't know what it's called, a zombified Joe, where she's basically a tank and she does a lot of damage. And it was just like so weird seeing it like that because I thought that was a one-off boss, and then I beat it, and then she just like appeared again. It's like, oh, this is bad. This is bad. Can I not wander into Slap? Sports Town. God. But then they also have like, there she is. Why? Oh, they want me to go down. There, okay, weird. But then you have other ones like Kent is a boss. He's also kind of a dick. Oh, the easy one. They have animal zombies in Dead Rising Chop Do You Drop. One of which, you have the poodle, which makes sense. The other one, I don't understand how it makes sense. It's a parrot, but the parrot's smart enough to drop like grenades on you. It's like, what is that? Play this game on PS4. I don't think it's gonna happen. I really hope PS4 will one day get the side stuff. So they don't really ever talk about it, but there is a game that takes place before Dead Rising 2. It's called Case Closed. It was like $5. It was considered to be like a paid demo for Dead Rising 2. And if you played it, you could start the game at level 5 because you could import your save, and you had some unlocks in addition. So that was actually pretty cool.
I just want this to end.
Was that her talking? It's supposed to be so painful to be carried like this if you just have this massive sunburn. But they have that. Then they have Case West. I think they ported, not Case West, but they did do Off the Record, I believe. Right? Yeah, and that sucks. I feel like the only way if you don't have an Xbox 360, the only thing you have is, I guess, hope to emulate it one day. I've been meaning, I never got around to doing it. I think I streamed at least one of them, but I meant to always have one on my channel. Oh yeah, that's right. I always forget that this is not it. The arrow is misleading. But I always meant to have it on my channel for that reason. Like, try to have, like, a run like, not like this, but like the real run where I do everything and try to showcase it, because there's some cool moments in there and unique things. William Perez, I recognize that name. There's some cool things in there. It's just you don't get to see them. Yeah, if you're on PC or PS4, and you probably never will. Same with Dead Rising 3. Like, I'm trying to remember what mechanics there are. There was some mechanic I remember in Dead Rising and Case Zero that really surprised me. Or was it? Oh yeah, Case West. It was like they had a boss with multiple health bars, and they had a whole UI element to show that. And I thought, oh, for sure, this is coming back in Dead Rising 3, and it doesn't. It's just like a one-off thing. But it was neat. It was kind of cool to see that. Or like the, I guess, villain of Dead Rising, Case West, comes back in Dead Rising 3. And I played 3 before I played Case West, and it's like, oh man, this made way more sense if I did it in the opposite order, right? She's just saying, it seems weird. Dead Rising always just seemed like such a side series to me. Like, I would love for it to get more of a, not recognition, that's probably not the right term, but for it to not like die out. Like, I feel like Dead Rising is very much like, oh, everyone loves Dead Rising, big spike. Okay, we're all done with it, and it goes back and no one talks about it. I see you, Perez. Hi. In the YouTube chat. Let me not misspell your name. I only have 577 killed. Despicable. What do I have coming up? I have Here Comes the Groom. I'd like to probably fight Slappy because I want to try that strategy. Someone suggested going in the maintenance room.
Thanks for everything.
Going to save. If you just joined now, you missed like the 2 or 3 awesome crashes that this game had. There's one where like the camera bugged out. So Chuck, it's like the camera got stuck because Chuck was just like floating around, and so I just like stopped touching it, and then the camera stayed, and Chuck just like kind of floated off through the walls, and then the game crashed. I was like, what was that? It's like clearly I was like, something's happening. I just had to watch. It was like, okay. I want to say Dead Rising 2 didn't have that issue. I think technically the HD ports are not as stable. They're pretty good, but they're not perfect. I want to say, but I guess it's been so long since I played the original Dead Rising 2 either. I wouldn't remember any crashes. Because I will say, this is something I always thought, especially back to Dead Rising 1, is they're surprisingly stable games. And as someone who's like tried to make videos of like exploiting really edge mechanics, they are very good at locking stuff down, which is actually something I kind of dislike overall. Like, it's always bugged me how a lot of the weapon effects are very baked in. So you can't say go do fun combinations with stuff like you could in, let's say, GTA. So because things are programmed to interact with one thing and then they don't interact with anything else in the game. So like, for example, what I would give is in Dead Rising 1 you could get vegetable oil and you could throw it on the ground and zombies would slip on it. However, that did not apply to psychos, and it did not apply to zombies who were already preoccupied. Like, you couldn't combine it with something so you knock them away and then they slide on the floor. That doesn't work. Or how all the cool effects, like I remember like when you get the shower head in Dead Rising 1 and you like stab it into a zombie's head and it like bleeds blood. And then I think they can slip. That's cool, but again, there's like no interactions. It's just kind of like that's a one-off. You can't combine that with anything fun. Or one thing that came up a lot in Dead Rising 4, but it was in all the games, is a lot of times if the game can't figure out the physics, it just despawns the items. Because what I was doing in Dead Rising 4 is I was trying to actually make, I guess, a catapult by like parking a pickup truck, like so, and then I'd put another car in the pickup truck bed, and the idea was to slam down on top of the other end of the pickup to launch the other car. Like silly stuff like that. And ultimately, it doesn't work. It just despawns both cars. But even in this game, it's the same way where, like, if you, like, get on top of something you're not meant to, that you can, that's an item, it just despawns it. Because it can't make you stand on it. Or one of the more, like, really disappointing examples is you can take Isabel's motorcycle all the way to Wonderland Plaza or even the food court, right? So I thought, naturally, I want to get the motorcycle on top of the moving roller coaster. Can't do that. It just fades through. And the whole game is just like full of those little kind of like disappointments because they don't have these interactions. Which is unfortunate. I wish they did because that's I feel like would let you really play it as a sandbox. Whereas I still feel like a lot of the fun interactions in Dead Rising ultimately are just kind of like baked. They are a finite list. So other than the extreme edge mechanics that do exist, you can't really do anything fun yourself. It's just more of like going down the list of neat things to see, like kill a zombie with every weapon in the game. Did you see its special attack? That's it. It's nothing like with a GTA where you could be like, I'm gonna do a trick shot. None of that really exists in this game. Like even like simple stuff. Like I remember like there's the throwing knife, if I recall, in Dead Rising 1. You throw it, you get like 10 PP if you kill a zombie by throwing the knife. Interesting. But you think like, oh well maybe I want to do like a trick shot where I throw it across the entire area. Can't do it. It travels in a perfectly straight line, if I recall. And then it gets like, I don't know, 30 feet and then drops straight down. When realistic physics, you'd be like, I want to be able to throw it up and have it go. Some things do that, but it doesn't. It's baked in. It goes this far, drops. It's unfortunate. Because I feel like that's what would make Dead Rising have more of a sandbox appeal. Because really you don't mess around in the sandbox per se. Like it's not like I'm going to go spend 3 hours just messing around in Dead Rising. Like, I can do stuff. There are things I'd like to try. But with a timer, it's inconvenient. And I don't know, there's not that much demand for it. Unless you can find like something interesting, like the no kill zombie runs. Those I think are very interesting. They're fun. I was surprised once I made that video series how many people had been searching for that stuff. That's actually kind of surprised me. Because I never really advertised. I just made that one because I wanted to make it. Is there some food in here I can eat in addition to this? Handbag. Is there anything in the handbag? Nope. I don't think so. It is kind of like a Russian nesting doll. Dynamite. Situation where you can like break, I think it's possible to break a bin, get a box, break the box, get a handbag, break the handbag, get a snack. I think that's possible. Super edge case. Hell yeah. I think I have to interact. Okay, I need to heal. I also tried it's not a bad idea. You can get like right in here. I think you can break the glass. Yeah, and you can shoot through these, but he has a attack that's explosive and goes through it. I don't know if it's his main attack or if it's like a separate grenade. Spear launcher. I don't think I've ever used that. I should buy it. Plate launcher, chopper key.
Hey, you looking for something?
Alright, I'm just scoping this out. I need to heal up before I actually start that fight. I wonder, so this is here too, so in theory you could go get that paddle saw. There we go. And I don't know, is there any psycho that the paddle saw is good against? It seems like if you could get one that gets knocked down for a while, you could like put it down somewhere, pick it up, and make use of it, but I just don't know who that would be. There's not a lot of good slow psychos. The only thing I can think of is if you have something like the drills. Or that armored van, where it just has a lot of health, and you want to like very quickly take it out. But I don't think anyone would realistically do that. I'm not good at this fight. So hopefully that's going to change. In the past, what I would do is I try and hit him with the Defiler, and that knocks him down. Take him with that attack. Dodge roll, so I could probably dodge it now. I do feel like there's a lot of attacks where it's like the game just wants you to cheese it. You know, like that just seems kind of like there's no real way to dodge or skill it, because you need to be like this and just like, okay, hop out. By the way, just mention if you guys have like a great suggestion. Because I feel like those exist, but I don't know any off the top of my head. Trader's Rights. I'm sorry, I'm reading the books. Okay, so I was told one person recommended doing this next to a security room down here, I guess? Yeah. So I'm going to walk down there. I don't actually know if he even goes that far, but I'm just going to assume he does. Because in the past, I'm pretty sure he followed me. Yeah. All the way to the store. Like, normally, I'll hide in the pawn shop, or I'll bring the drinking book, and I'll hide inside the, what's it called? Liquor store. I do not think I've ever been in here. Just the fact that he has that third shot makes it impossible. Like, so if he hits you with the first one, he's guaranteed to hit you with the third. I thought it was interesting that this is the exact... That's probably priceless. Exact same layout as Dead Rising 1. Except for, I think, this painting. There's a painting here in Dead Rising 1 that has some nudity in it. And that gets censored in some versions. I just thought it was interesting, like going through and like looking at just like really tiny details in Dead Rising 1. That's actually there. It's, I assume, isn't part of the rating or whatever. I don't think it's, I think Dead Rising might be. Okay, he's over there. Ridiculous. This is on Xbox One. It's the HD, so not PS3, but similar versions. What does that give you? That, a poster. But yeah, I assume it's the same on PS3. I think the only difference, I don't think there is a difference. I was gonna say is which ones you can get, but I don't think they have remasters of anything on Xbox or any of the ones that you can't get on PS3.
Just like Mom used to.
Can I? I thought I could run with this. That does not look safe. Sorry, I have to scrounge up some food, so it's gonna be a little dull. You can see it here. He's gonna snipe me, isn't he? Ooh, I could leave. That might be a good thing to do. I thought for sure that was gonna be a death right there. Sorry, so okay, I'm gonna try this on him. I'm just curious. It would be a huge quality of life update if these things didn't shut down or fall off. It's like, okay, put it back on, restart it. It makes them pretty much completely impractical. Don't pull out your other gun. Not worth it. Which is kind of a shame that so many weapons are just completely precluded from ever like being any kind of weapon you'd want to use. Like it's not feasible like that. I'm rushing that. More iPhone. See, I think that's really the best is like here, let me just tank him. Oh, he does that, so I need to not do it. That's death probably. As soon as zombie doesn't kill me. Okay, leave. If I can get to the next store. Okay. I just need to find some food in somewhere. I'm too far for him to hit me, but either I need to get to the next store, or hopefully there's food in here. Hold on. Oh, there we go. It's literally right here. I hear you, man. Thank you for pointing that out, Skeletal. But yeah, top 10 handmade weapons. I don't blame you for not wanting to start over. It's actually something where I think it's very discouraging for people who are new at the game when they first start that they can't get like anything done. And it just kind of compounds too. Like when you first start playing, it's like you can't do the first fights, but then you don't really level up as much as you'd like. So you have trouble with later fights. And it just kind of adds up. And honestly, I feel like the biggest thing is just play the game, and if you die and lose, that's fine because you can save your level. And I feel like when you're coming back at like a level 30, that's when most people have a little more fun with the game. Because you have like leeway. Plus you can like knock stuff off your list. Like you don't need to save certain survivors because you've saved them before. And yeah, the bonus would be nice, but then you can focus on the story. Alright, I'll take this.
Well, all right.
Like, I wish there was a better advice for that, though, because, like, obviously the game kind of pushes you to the story, and when you fall off the story, it kind of yells at you. But I feel like it's easier to play and enjoy Dead Rising is if you just sit down for 2 hours and don't save Katie. Don't do the case mission. Maybe save Katie, just because that's a fine enough goal, and usually you can figure out what to do. But being able to come back in, like, at level 30 and then do just the story is, I think, a better experience. Let's see. This is also exactly the same way it was in Dead Rising 1. I don't think they have as many little... I guess they don't have a save point back here like there is. So do they just, like, not have a locker room? This is exactly the same because they still have the 2006 posters that they have in Dead Rising 1 when the game came out. Just a fact. weight ball. So anyway, I'll go do Here Comes the Groom. That's always that's a fun one, I feel like. You a queen? Nah. I think the reason I didn't see the whiskey is because it gets marked as an icon for maintenance or whatever. For combining and stuff, and not actually for food. Yeah, I guess there's no real penalty to not saving Katie. I'm pretty sure not saving Katie makes you fail the missions too, right? Because she's in those. And you're whatever would be horrified. Stacy would be like, you didn't save your daughter, oh my god, I'm not gonna help you. Kind of thing. Stacy's not bad. If you're having trouble saving Katie though, you can also there's 4 Zombrex just hidden in like casinos and underground. And generally speaking, it's very easy to grab them once you know where they are. Or even if you're having that much trouble, just like sit down and just go get them. Or like even what I like about Dead Rising 2 is if you really are having some difficulty, it's not a bad idea, for example, to just grind out a bunch of cash. Like just go do the poker mission. Like that gives you $1 million. Which I believe is enough to buy 4 doses of Zombrex, in addition to what you find. So that alone basically takes away the entire issue for one game. So that can be kind of nice. I need a save point before this though, don't I? And I like that's an option, I'll be honest, like, I'm not going to do it on this save file because this is a new save file. I was level 1 when I started this game. But back when I had like a main save file that was like the master, where I would just like load up to mess around with stuff and like try stuff out. Because I would do like practice runs on there, he had like $4 million. And it wasn't too hard to get more if you needed it. Like I just basically, there's a point where you can just press A, and you'll be safe from zombies. So I just go do like, watch something, just A, get cash. And then so when I do a run and I wouldn't want to worry about it, I would just buy out all my Zombrex. But I recommend, if you just look it up on the wiki, that's what I do. Or just knowing the locations in the casino, that's pretty big. There's 2 basically main ones I would recommend. There's one after you do a case mission. Where's the nearest save? What is not pawn shop? Oh, perfect. It's just like to my right. There's one after you do the case mission on the train. It's like if you take just a right and take a cart like just down the hallway underground. There's one just like lying on the floor. It's literally on your way to like several missions after that anyway, so that's awesome. Then there's the one in the Yucatan, which is the one over there on the far end, and it's literally just like in the center. So that makes it very desirable. And then I think there's also the one in Slot Ranch. It's like you just have to do some platforming, and it's not too bad whatsoever. And a lot of those, what I love is you can get them while you're doing something else. And you only really need to get ahead like by 1 dose. If you get ahead 1 dose, generally you'll have done something to get a second dose. Or you can say get ahead 1 dose, buy the first one, which is like 25k. Not that hard to come across. And that's pretty good. I'm gonna not feel like, let me drop the Psycho one for some food. This is another one I don't have a particularly good strategy for, other than just basically keep hopping over the pews. I think that's really the only thing you can do with this guy. You can go make a rocket launcher, and that's not bad, but he gets the same kind of, again, bonuses as every other one. So like, let me take this.
Excellent.
So and this came up before when I was fighting Antoine. I never liked how many iframes or invincibility frames the game will give to psychos, particularly in Dead Rising 2. In Dead Rising 3, it hides it a little better, like where I don't think they get iframes exactly. They can still take, it's reduced damage, but they still take damage. But then it tries to prevent you from shooting them by getting them out of your sight via some mechanic,
Randall,
which is
my
good.
son?
Instead of like here, it'll be like you'll light. Okay, I dropped it for some reason when I started. Don't know what that's about. Oh, this is great against him. Wow. This is 100% the strategy. Did he destroy it? No, it's just over there. That is absolute strike. That's not at all. Okay, you're being a dick. Like, usually, you go fight, like, again, like Antoine. It's like the first 2 hits are fine, and then he basically hyper armors through the 3rd hit, and then he hits you, and he takes no damage in the 4th hit while he does that. I think, can't you hit him in, like, the crotch? Isn't that... I think that's a thing in this fight, actually, if you hit him. I should not stop that. I should stop messing around. There we go. Easy fight. Man, that was actually totally worth it. Usually, like, it's very hard in Dead Rising 2 to find, like, one strategy that's, like, demolishes these guys. Like, normally, again, like, when I was fighting Antoine, it's like, oh, this one's awesome, I do so much health with Battle Song. Then you try and bring it again, it just does not work out. Also, I always call out this mattress over here. I think it speaks for itself. Take that, what you will.
This is good.
Flower pot. Oh, Beer Hat. Beer Hat's also amazing, especially if you take Beer Hat with you multiple like Beer Hats. I think you might only be out one, but multiple Beer Hats. Combine that with Drinking Book. Health. Great. Where am I going? To the right. So I kind of stopped doing. Originally, I set out to do all the objectives because I meant to basically stay up and finish this run. And then after I got reset, after a lot of stuff, probably not happening. Although, other than one scoop I'm missing right now, there's an unmarked scoop right now. What's it called? Big Game Stakes, where you have to escort a dude who's got a lot of cash. Like, I kind of was like, oh, I'm just gonna kind of play the game and not really worry too hard. Yet I'm still doing it. It's like. I just think it's interesting how Dead Rising is so defined by what you know more than how well can you execute some task. Like, fighting it's not really hard, it's more about like, you know. And I always kind of really respected that for Dead Rising. Because once you kind of know and understand it, it's actually a pretty easy game to get by. But it's just like, one of the reasons I liked it when I first played it is I love horror games. I love playing scary games. And not looking up how to do stuff. Because I love the idea of like, you're someone out dealing with this big issue, whether that be some monster chasing you or whatever, and you just have to like make it up as you go. Like, I think that's very valuable. I feel like that's what I like about Dead Rising is you don't realize like what's good or what's bad. You just try stuff. So you might, I don't know, in desperation, pick up a generator and then throw it at some psycho, and that hits really high. It's like, oh, that's a strategy. So then you bring that generator to like the next fight. I love that stuff. And it's been a long time since I was on like that level, but still, it's a cool sentiment. Danny, come on.
Don't fall behind. Keep close.
Escorting survivors is much easier once you get that car, which I think if I did the high rollers mission where you play poker, I could get. But I always loved how it's just a weird situation because you can only fit one person in that car, if I recall, unlike the Hummer, which fits 4. So you have this thing where you'll tell them to stand somewhere, then you'll have one person get in, and then you'll drive them to the safe room. Then usually save them. I think that usually works best if you just turn them in right there. And then, no, you don't want to turn them in there. You tell them to wait, but then that sends the other people coming to you. And then you drive your car, get another person, drive them back, stay there. Drive your car, get another person, stay there. But they're constantly moving at you because you're trying to tell them to stand next to this safe room. It's just crazy. She's still running okay. It's just a really surreal experience. Like, it wouldn't be like that at all. Like I called out earlier, my favorite experience like that is in The Cure Psycho. We fight him in the bathroom. He has like that survivor, Vicky, he captured. And because it's a hard fight early on in the game, I always immediately save. But when you do that, you're basically like peeing like right next to her head. And it makes sense game-wise why you're doing that, but it's like, that's kind of a dick move. That's interesting. I guess, like, one thing is, so you can't swing your weapons in here. But normally this chainsaw, like, is active and hurts stuff. But I guess that gets turned off as well and will not do that. What's in here? Burger, okay. So whenever I play, it's like I generally know this game pretty well, but I always try to explore like just some more things or memorize others. So like for example, one thing I'm really trying to memorize is where everything in the safe room is, just because it's valuable knowledge. And a lot of these are actually, even though they don't look it, determined. Like there's always vodka over here, which is important for a scoop. There's vodka. I don't know if the other ones are set, but there always is there. And there's a bunch of things you can make from the safe room straight away. That's what the cone was. I knew there was a cone here somewhere. There's so many like nice little like tidbits I love about Dead Rising for that exact reason, where it's just like you can learn about this and this and this, and you just get better and better. I really wish they had higher difficulties. Like I really think the game could have lived longer and had more people continue playing it if they had more of a reason to do these little like challenge runs like this. Like I really think the achievements are a disservice to Dead Rising. Because they're all collectibles. Like Dead Rising 2 is like go in every store. That's kind of nice. Because then at least you get to see everything in the game. Kill zombies with every gun. It's like, okay. That's slightly better. That doesn't mean you have to go get like all the cards. But then stuff like spray paint all the Zombex posters. It's just raw collectibles. And I'm not necessarily even against raw collectibles. Because sometimes I think about stuff like... I'm a huge fan of Borderlands 2, and what I liked about some of the, they weren't collectibles in the achievement sense, but just like the side objectives, is they weren't directly fun themselves, but the game itself was so much fun to play. Having any reason to play more and have an objective was interesting. And then you got a little like, interesting reward. Like maybe it's just like, oh, you didn't know this was here, or now you know that there's a hidden chest or something. And I really like that. I feel like so many games can't reach that same level, so I'm not a huge fan of it. Like, I really don't like the Zombex posters in this. I think that's a dumb achievement. Like, conversely, collecting gifts for Katie is actually really nice. Like, the fact that you get so much PP from that is a big deal if you do low-level runs. Like, starting at level 1, that counts for, I want to say, like, usually 150,000 PP.
Hey, you looking for something? I got a feeling.
It's definitely a game changer. Particularly because, like, I always capture Snowflake first. So, makes that a huge leap forward right at the beginning of the game. They have number 33 in Judgment Time. So I was looking for a store here. I'm always curious how other people play these games. Like, I feel like Dead Rising is a game where like there's a very limited window where you can experience it as like as a fresh viewpoint. Because like going on now, it's like I already kind of know how to optimally do stuff. So if I want to continue playing, I have to basically make stuff up. Like, oh, I want to beat this using only fists, stuff like that. And after a while, it's like, eh, it's not the same. Although I meant to mention this before. One of the runs I really wanted to do in Dead Rising 1 at least, I don't think we're looking 2, is I thought it would be fun to do magazines or books only. So you can pick whatever one you want, but the only weapon you get is magazines, and you have to throw them. And I feel like that would work in Dead Rising 1. Because first of all, they're unbreakable. So that's important to note. So you just have to have enough patience, basically, to get by. But also then that does like change stuff up enough where you'll have 3 times healing, so it's probably not that bad. Just taking a look around here. I never actually take a look. See if there's anything else I never missed. Like I remember like I didn't know about this up high area for a while, and it's got a stake for Snowflake, a sniper rifle. It's got dynamite right there. It's got this thing. Nice. I wonder. I was contemplating if I could get a skateboard off this down to there, if there would be anything worth doing. Even in Psycho Fights. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Skeletork. Keep in mind, I'm like 2 minutes ahead of you. So you'll have to talk about what you're referencing. Even in Psycho Fights. Is there anything on this kiosk? Have I gone on this kiosk before? The magazine. Yes, even in Psycho Fights. I don't know how feasible it is. I don't. But I think mainly, I probably would move it, like this is the same thing that happened with Fists Only, where really, Fists Only, after having done no zombie kills, doing the story really didn't matter. It became just about the Psycho Fights. And I feel like that same thing would happen, where it is just about the Psycho Fights. There's nothing in there. I think it's doable. Some would be annoying. You'd have to plan your strategy. Let me contemplate while I continue to waste time here. Okay, let me think. Food Court Carlito, you could do it. Sniper Carlito, you could do it. There's plenty of food in Entrance Plaza. That one would be super annoying. It would just take a while. I think that's the main thing, is you might run into time limits. I mean, obviously you can't do Brock at the end of Dead Rising 1. You won't have a magazine there. Or the tank. But some of them, like Joe's so easily exploited, it literally is just a matter of time where she cannot hurt you and you can kill her. I'd say. So who? Adam the Clown, I might actually know a workaround for. If you lock him in the closet and you can hit him through the closet with a magazine like you can with your kick, then he'd be trivial. Cliff would be really annoying. Because he's just always gone. Like, he would just take a while. I don't know. Probably wouldn't do the convicts. It's like, on one hand, I wouldn't want to do the convicts, but on the other hand, if you kill the gunner, you can just get them stuck on a tree and then do it that way. So, I don't think it's bad. Also, zombie aggro's weird. It's like, they can be really far into you, and it's like sometimes it's an issue. Like, this dude, he will come all the way up to you. It's going to take him minutes, and it's never relevant when you play the game normally. But I think it's interesting how it's like eventually that zombie is going to reach me. What else? What other psychos are there? I'm sure I'm forgetting one. Isabella on the motorcycle would be very tough. I never found a good strategy to consistently beat her, to get her stuck. But on the bright side, you could just hit her with some magazines and then she drives away and you pick them all up. Oh, I think I know the one you could not beat. The Butcher. Because it's a timed fight. And it's a short time fight because it's not like the clock fight. It's like until Carlito goes in. So if you're doing the story, you probably can't get that. That would be the only one. Because this came out because I did all the fights with... Oh, okay. That was a misclick.
It's a little
I did all the fights with toy weapons, and it's a very similar idea where you just don't have good weapons. But it's basically the same as fists. I really wish Dead Rising had more reason to do crazy stuff, because like one of the things I thought about and noticed on the toy challenge is like there's a lot of actually very interesting interactions. Particularly like, for example, the boomerang is super powerful in Dead Rising 1, but it's nearly impossible to apply to anything. Oh, cool. I'll take that achievement. Very fitting. So like, yeah, because it kind of curves around. And I always thought like, if you had a good setup, you could consistently hit certain fights really easy without taking damage. I don't know what they would be, but it's something I would like to maybe explore. Like my favorite example of that, of niche weapon uses, for example, is the Sniper Carlito fight in Dead Rising 1. There is Sports Trance, Sports World, the non-Sports Trance one, Sports Zone, one of those, like right next to where you spawn in when you fight him. And what you can do is you can go in and you get a hockey stick or a golf club, and he will stand still and try and shoot you through a pillar, but you can stick your golf club out or hockey stick and keep hitting pucks at him until he dies. So I'm wondering if it's not something like that, where you could do like, I don't know, like Cletus. Let's say Cletus. Like that's not practical because the boomerang wouldn't come back. But you could stand outside his range of fire and just be like, aim here. That could be cool. Especially because if you did it right, like you can catch it again. Like that's a big part of the boomerang that I feel like gets overlooked because you never use the thing. But in theory, you could do something like get the convicts stuck on a tree. You stand behind the tree in such a way where you throw the boomerang around the tree, it comes around, hits them, comes back to you. I don't think it's worth it. Like many things in Dead Rising, that sounds cool, but that's not worth it, right? That's not worth spending the time for that. But I'm wondering if there would be something that would be good. Like for 7 Day Survivor, there theoretically could be some setups. If anyone played 7 Day Survivor, because it sucks. Other than doing the one, if they didn't have achievements, no one would play that mode. Although, that was another idea I had for stream, was to try and attempt like a world record attempt, so to speak, at that. Because they have a leaderboard. And the catch, though, is I'm pretty sure you can hack that leaderboard. Like, you can go in and just make yourself invincible and then just let the time run. But you'd have to let it run, but you're invincible, so you could do that. But I don't think it is right now. So I think you could reasonably go 22 days if you were extremely efficient. 22, 23 days. Or even just to say, like, I did it, I'm on that list would be cool. Yeah, that's basically it, is the laser sword. I mainly did for the achievement because that, I guess, like, shows outside of the game. The burrito must be so done right now. But yeah, laser sword is another big deal. It kind of annoys me that Dead Rising 2 doesn't really have anything on that same level besides the knight outfit. Is there something behind this? No, there's not. I'm just like exploring now in any case because I'll probably cut the stream probably for 1 or so, just because again that's going to take forever to actually go through with this stuff. Which is sad. If I wasn't set back so much, I got started a little bit earlier. I could do it. Like, normally I would start Dead Rising 1 around, like, 5:30 or 6, and I'd wrap up about, like, 12:30. Stuart's scheme. I'm gonna let that mutiny. Why not? But yeah, I think I'll do more Dead Rising stuff with the channel. It's been fun. I really legitimately like this game, and I feel like it streams very well. Because most people who have played it are vaguely familiar with it enough where they have stuff to add, but also stuff to learn. Plus, there's plenty of like unique little challenges to do. It's like a Dark Souls stream light with less depth. I think, is it Dead Rising 1 only where you can break these and spill? No. Awesome. Would be something I could get on that I have never been on before. I never look up in Dead Rising. That's kind of a bad thing. She's kicked me in, yeah. This was in Dead Rising 1, wasn't it? I know. Can you still throw a pie? This was a small interaction you could do in Dead Rising 1. Maybe not. I might have missed that one. Oh, that was perfect. Out of cake. You could throw it and you'd stick it like a whipped cream pie, like you would, like Three Stooges style. Guess they took that out. Because I feel like Dead Rising wants to have like the GTA levels of like every interaction has been planned out and like every little world detail has happened. But underground access. I never take this. I didn't know this was here. I'm learning so much about Dead Rising 2 tonight. Mainly because it's been like two years since I played this game, I think. Maybe less, but it was definitely... Like, I think I've moved apartments since I played this game. Oh, I think I know where I'm at. But yeah, there's always fun interactions. Like, I would love if there's more love for the game. Like, I was talking earlier, I really want to do that like September 23rd, like Dead Rising weekday stream. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun. To just like once a year, since I have such history with this game, just to go through and just play every single game in the series and talk about it and do some fun stuff with it. I tried last year, but it just didn't work out, sadly. I'm also not aware, like, what other Dead Rising communities are there? Like, the one I would always go to would be the Dead Rising, r/Dead Rising subreddit. But I know I've heard a lot of people, like, would rather frequent, like, the Facebook page, and I assume Capcom, they have their own forums, but I've never been. Is that worth checking out? I don't know if anyone does. I assume everyone here is from, like, the subreddit. That's what I usually guess, or just happen to be looking for Dead Rising. I don't know. Alright. Can I break this? I don't know what I expected from that. What about this? What about this? Can I? No. Not pop a tire. I'm honestly just looking for like any fun little interaction I can make a greater video with. I remember at one point what I was going to do was just like really silly little stuff. Like what I would do is, like let's try, and this didn't work out because of despawn, but I wanted to go like on Dead Rising 1. I guess it would work in Dead Rising 2. But like pick a zombie, like way over there at the back, and you put like a cone on his head, right? And you go in and co-op, and when one person stands by the cone zombie so they don't despawn. The other person starts in a very specific area with a bowling ball. And you just play golf. Like you have as many throws as you need to kill the zombie with the cone on their head. And then, yeah, I feel like that could be neat. I don't know if it's worth the time. I feel like it might be a little tedious, or just the fact that, again, physics in Dead Rising is like super finicky and not reliable. So I feel like a lot of times you're like, oh, my ball glitched and got destroyed on like the first throw or something. I feel like that would happen a little bit too much, but I feel like it'd be a fun idea to incorporate some games like you would into GTA, for example. I really wish there would be more stuff on the subreddit. I try to like do a stream every once in a while or just post something because I really like that subreddit. But I recognize like a lot of times you like beat the game, move on. So I think that subreddit has a lot of lurking, but not a lot of active posters. So I try to do my part, make a shitty meme sometimes, throw it on there. I feel like that's how I got known. That and I did like the CSS, which I did the CSS way before I did a ton of study on it. I feel like I really need to go back. Now that I actually know way more about that, I really need to sit down and probably improve it some. I would love to have like more custom art and not just stuff that's ripped from, I think, I don't know if it's concept art of the game or what have you, but it'd be cool to have stuff work out a little bit better. Although I will say, when I try to sit down and find the, like, let's design the subreddit's look to see if we couldn't, like, do something. Like, Like, you go play most games, they have a consistent HUD, colors, and styles. Dead Rising doesn't have that, so it's really hard to find a good style that fits all the games. Oh yeah, this is down here. I want to shout out, like, I love, like I said, I kind of complained earlier about how you can't get most stuff early on. I liked how you can get this gun early on if you want to come get it. And you can use that to go make the BFG, right? Yeah. Which is actually one of the guns you need for an achievement. So you don't have to sit and, like, replay all the way to overtime mode to get one of these guns to make that. Nice. And the BFG is awesome. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I never actually had used this in normal mode, even though you theoretically could. But for all I know, maybe this thing, or the BFG, absolutely destroys Antoine. Or just demolishes the armored car or something. I'm sure there is probably some awesome interaction. More likely than not, probably useless though. Doesn't do anything special with those. Okay. Do you drop money if I break you? I don't know why that's so funny. Also, not sure why you can't pick up your arrows. That would actually make this a pretty cool weapon. Let's see, what's in here? I'm just going through all these things. I'm sorry if this is boring, but it's one of those things you never actually stop and like look through some of these idiosyncrasies. So I just thought like, hey, that'd be kind of a good little thing.
Got any updates?
Can I do the source? I must have been that call starting it. I really don't like that fight. That fight's needlessly hard with the twins and the katanas. So I'll probably call it before then. Let's go make a save right now so I can save the progress on the main story. Because I actually want to go through and see, again, is it possible to beat Dead Rising 2 without killing any zombies? Right now, the main one, my main concern, the motorcycle part, the answer is yes, you can do that. I just feel like there's got to be something in the missions, though, that realistically prevents you. I don't know what, though. Oh, I just had an idea. It's a rail shooter. It's like a Legend of Zelda. Ocarina of Time. This is actually really fun. I don't know why. Can I do the same? Oh, round 2. I don't know why that was actually fun. I would make that into a little 30-second clip if I would. If I was not lazy, it wasn't 12:30 at night. I wonder if I could. It's like those are the little interactions I like. Like that'd be something you could make a little funny video off of. Can I? Does not work on glass. I thought actually the spray paint did work on more stuff. I think one of the fun interactions I had for photos in Dead Rising 1 is Frank can spit, right? If he has no weapons and he aims down his sights, basically. I don't know if Chuck can do that. I can. And yeah, it leaves like just a little mark, but it's like visible. It just leaves like sparks. I guess I don't think I've ever used the spit. I wonder if it's... I could do spit only. That was the other idea for a fun Dead Rising 1 run. Because in Dead Rising 1, I don't think it does any damage, but you can get a juice that does make it do damage. But I'm wondering, like, even just with this, because the spit has physics like that, there probably is something you can do with it. Like, just something very small, like, oh, maybe the spit, because no one expected you to use it, like, gets around, I don't know, hyper armor, poise control, or whatever. So if you are fighting Antoine and it's like hit, spit, it resets the counter or something. Like imagine if I discovered something like that. That would be pretty big. I might need to mess around there. I don't know if it comes across this way on the stream, but because of the way I'm wearing these headphones, the slot machines sound like a screaming witch. I think it's just for me, but it's been getting me all night. Now, can I get on the plane? I've never... I think that's a good example of Dead Rising locking stuff down too much. I should be able to get on that plane, but because that would be like outside their normal realm of behavior, not allowed. Not allowed to even land and just slide off. It's just invisible wall. I think one thing I probably should do, because I never had, is just sit down and play all the mini games. I'm surprised that's not an achievement. Because there's a bunch in Dead Rising 1, 2. A spit run would be funny. Oh, it is. I've never used Spitfire because, I mean, I don't know what you would practically use it for. But it would be interesting, yeah. I think it would. I feel like it'd be interesting because it sounds like it's hard, but I'm also concerned. Like, obviously, you would never be able to beat, like, Antoine without some kind of really ridiculous strategy to prevent him from eating, right? But I'm just afraid would it not be interesting to watch because, like, you've already solved the fight. This is just you having to do the fight for 30 minutes. That's what my concern would be. Like, it's something I don't know who the streamer was, but it was someone who did a lot of, like, Dark Souls challenge runs. And he talked about how once you have done, like, broken sword or fists only runs, that's kind of like the max. Like, that's already, like, basically you do 1 damage, they have 3,000 health or something, right? Once you've done that, you realize that's just boring. And then so many variations are just that. You know, so it's like, oh, instead of fists, you use broken sword. What have you. Or same, it's like, in this example, it'd be the difference between using a handgun and spitting with Spitfire, right, is probably just you have to spit twice as long to kill it, but it's the same strategy. And I feel like that's what I would want to avoid. Nice. Just fire this bullet. I don't think I've ever come over here outside of that one time it matters. I might just let myself die. What is here? I assume this is just locked.
Damn it.
I don't know what I would expect otherwise. It would blow my mind if there was some like fundamental I had never been. Like, I don't think that's the case. I think there's stores that I walked by that I might never have been in. Especially because I know in Dead Rising 2 Xbox 360, I played the game a lot, but I actually never got the achievement to go in all the stores. I assumed it was a kiosk, but maybe it was something bigger. But I don't know. I remember playing a ton of Dark Souls 1, and literally I had all the achievements, did all this stuff, and then just I was walking one day, and I noticed like basically an entire section of a level. It was Darkroot Garden, if you're familiar with that. I never knew about that lower level for basically like a year and a half, and I played that game a ton. I still love Dark Souls. I would love to stream it, but it's kind of like overdone. Whereas I feel like I got a good niche with Dead Rising. Let's explore some more. Does this gun interact with queens at all? I don't think it does.
Anyone there?
Let's ride.
Hello. That was... Let's just enjoy this. Oh, that's interesting. That's... So, I guess that hurt his... So yeah, I guess by making him throw up, or just like the damage from the gun, destroyed his... I will hopefully be back again on Friday. I think it's Friday. I want to do some... This is fun. Like, I enjoy streaming. I can just talk for hours. I've been talking since 6:30. Minus that one call I had to take. But it's been fun. I enjoy this stuff. Oh, now the stream's coming back slowly. But thanks for watching. I'm going to get some sleep so I can work on chores tomorrow, basically. I love Dead Rising. It's fun. If you have any other ideas of games that'd be worth streaming, let me know. Let me put that in chat. I was thinking a good run of Case Zero or Case West would be good. Like, I feel like that's something a lot of people don't see. So that'd be pretty great to just go and have at least one good file. I actually filmed like basically a Let's Play of it. I just never edited it. Which is like my other project. I just never edited it. But I feel like that's something I kind of want to have on the channel. Just so I could point like, hey, here's something. Even if I just literally make one that's like not me doing any commentary. It's just here it is, unedited maybe, just here's the game so you can experience it. Because I really like Case Zero. I actually really do like it. They have a couple fun mechanics in it that are not in the other games. And that surprises me. They have like a multi-part scoop that's kind of cool with the UI. I want to say that was Case Zero. In Case West, I think they had the new photography mechanic for the first time. Or not new, but again. I feel like that'd be useful to the channel. But either way, I need to get some sleep so I can wake up tomorrow at 6:30 or 7. Or for all I know, I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to get a call at like 2 a.m. I got to work on some issue for work. So thanks for coming out of the stream, guys. Hopefully going to do some more in the future. Just, I usually just post on the Dead Rising subreddit if I'm going to stream. Because usually I get a ton of great people who come out from there. Otherwise, I know I have YouTube. My YouTube channel is below in the Twitch chat. Not chat, but below the Twitch channel. Or it's on my Reddit post. Taken for granted. It's same for both Twitch and for YouTube. But yeah, just follow me there and it'll notify you when I'm live on either of those, I believe. It's inconsistent. Sometimes it feels like YouTube like doesn't send out that message. Where I'll check it because I have like my own personal account. I'll be like, I know I'm live right now. I'm kind of streaming. But it doesn't actually say anything, so I don't know what's up with that. But I'm going to take off, so thanks again, and I'll hopefully see you again next week. Bye.